right. Oh, TikTok. This is an unoriginal. You know, Unchained Skeptic 2. That's the account I'm streaming on right now. It is 12:56 a.m. on April 29th, 2025, Eastern Standard Time. Unoriginal. So yeah. See here. That's got to copy and paste that at this point. And boom. There we go. All right. Let's close out of my analytics. Can't spell analytics without anal. Let's bring it over here and boom. There we go. Oh yeah, take Finny E. What's up, BBL? How you doing? How's your day? How's your night? How's your all that shit? You know the spiel at this point. I don't even know why I bother saying it. Connect to TikTok live. Yeah, there we go. I gotta chill on telling people to, do things to themselves on this stream because of until TikTok takes me down. YouTube is so quiet. Yeah, I had my mic away from my mouth. That's why it was quiet. I'm sorry. I'm should be good now, but yeah, I had my mic really far away, doing whatever. Yo, what up? What's up, Rip? How you doing? How's your day? How's your night? How was everything? Yeah, let's have a talk. Let's have a little discussion. Let's have a little, little powwow, a little pustule, all that good stuff. Your girlfriend wants you to convert to Christianity? No fucking way. Seriously? Are you being dead ass? Or are we like, are we joking? Are we not joking? Are we doing, like, don't tell me you're serious. If so, yikes. Man, big oof. Big time yikes. Oh, man. See here. Okay, starting to get some people scrolling in, for what it's worth. How do you clear these notifications, man? Just click each and every single last notification. Because I'm sick of this number 9 up here. But yeah, the trick is just say, nah, I just don't believe in that shit. There you go. Boom. Make sure to use the word shit. Are we praying tonight? We might have some prayer tonight, yeah. Let's see. Atheism means spiritual ignorance. Usually people don't get dumber when they get older. Um, I mean, if atheism doesn't make any God claims, people that believe in God make claims of talking animals. So, if that's ignorance to you, then have fun with it. Jesus still loves you. Heathen is crazy. What the hell? Why you switch up? Lack of evidence. So I looked for evidence of Christianity being true, and I found none of it convincing. That's what led me to the path of atheism. That's what made me leave, and that's why I switched up. I looked for evidence, no evidence. But yeah, we might pray. Christianity's imagine that the sky man will save you. Exactly. Yeah. Just, that there's some sky church for you to go to after your life. After you die. So dead ass, you're going to church with her for only for your family, but I think she's trying to trick me. Yeah, yeah. At that point, that's a big time oof. You heard atheism is a non-profit organization. There we go. You guys have faith, gang. You don't need evidence. I don't think faith is a very efficient way to live your life. Personally, I think it's would be kind of silly to say just have faith in things being true versus just getting evidence for it. See here on the same topic as you, former Christian. Good to see you. Good to see you. Darth, is that the actual Darth Dawkins? That's the real. Wait, is it? No, that's not the real Darth Dawkins. But thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Finally, another atheist. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The trick is, next time you go to church with her, just start asking the pastor a bunch of stupid questions, and they'll probably not want to bring you in. Scrimba, thank you for the heart me and the follow. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. You are Darth? Is that your backup or something? What denomination were you? I was a Baptist for 16 years, and then I was an Apostolic for 2 years. Um, but yeah, Baptist until I was like 16. Apostolic Church afterward, just one of them. Bro expects to see God chilling in space. I expect us to be able to logically substantiate it. I think that would be good enough. You are Southern Baptist, big time yikes, big time yikes. Is it the real one? I don't know. Honestly, it's just his account says Darth Dawkins too. Um, it's definitely not his main, but it could be backup. I don't fucking know at this point. You have faith in something, right? Everyone has faith in something or someone. I mean, maybe I don't know. Your live broadcast is wonderful. Wonderful. Can we be friends? I'm not gonna join your agency, dude. I'm not interested in your like your whatever weird join the agency and y'all take a cut of the TikTok's cut of gifts for me and then just never contact me again. Yeah, you can miss me with that. Catholic or Orthodox? I was neither. I was Baptist for 16 years. If you ask like which one I prefer, I mean just kind of two sides of the same sandwich at that point. Lending money to Christians at high interest rates is crazy. Oh jeez. Oh wait, I think we got a clip incoming. I think okay, clip coming. Let's do it. Multi guest. Yeah, this might be a clip.
Yep, I'm Darth Dawkins,
It is Darth Dawkins. How old are you for TikTok purposes?
63.
All right, what's up, man? How can I help you?
So, can you tell me why your atheism is rational?
Why it's rational to not believe in any god or god figures?
Yep.
Everybody's born that way.
No, that's okay. Then you're not using the standard definition of atheism in logic, philosophy, and metaphysics.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I'm really stoned at the moment. I just want to.
All right, then I'm not going to waste my time. Why am I not surprised that an atheist is stoned?
Yeah. That's had to. I know that dude fucking hates weed. I was just like, fuck it, let's just do the thing to get him on out of here. Had to do like a classic little throw the grenade in real quick. Oh man, but 63 though. Well, God bless you, man. Pun intended. God bless you, dude. 63, kicking. But I know every time somebody mentions on his stream that they've been smoking, the fucked up part? I haven't even started smoking yet. I was just like, fuck it. Grenade, boom. Anyway, what caused your perspective to change? Lack of evidence for God is what caused my perspective to change. What's he got against Burning Bush? I don't know, dude. Gary's fucking weird. He's a weird individual. He's like some I don't even know what to call him. He's a person that exists. I'll say that much. He's a person. Um, I think he's a person. If somebody told me he was AI, I'm like, I probably might believe it. The only logical explanation to atheism is despair. No, not quite. If you ever feel deep down Philippians 4:13, oh no, I don't believe in Jesus, so it's not really for me. You said apostolic after you went Baptist, so oh no, I didn't become Catholic or Orthodox. I'm talking about like the Protestant denomination. It's like that. It's like that. Ooh, it's like that. Jesus is in heaven with God. Is he really? Or is he like dead in a pit somewhere? But no, I'm not gonna talk to Darth, dude. I'd love to have like a formal debate with him though. I feel like that'd be hilarious. There's no God who defines what's right and wrong. You do. We do. Humans do. That's what we do. We define it for ourselves. Need Jesus and Judas Uri? I feel like you'd find it somewhere out there. Also, what's up, Libra? You have faith, sir. You have faith in something. I mean, in what though? I thought Jesus was God. Right. Uh, three essences that they're distinct, but they're not different people. I guess I don't know. Just chilling with himself. Yeah, I don't know. You know, Daniel, you was never a Christian. No, I was a Christian. If you think I'm about to debate you about it, I don't know what you got. Probably got the wrong stream or something. It's really hot where you're gonna end up between your mom's ass cheeks, because that's the only place I'm about to end up. It's pretty temperate between there, you know. She's a little hot. She's a little in heat, you know. Sometimes it's just like when I come over there to your mom's house, I'll just whip it out and just like not actually enter anything, but just plop it right between like a hot dog bun, you know, just let it sit there, hang out, just to warm up a bit. The title's kind of mean, bruh. Is it really though? The Holy Trinity, not the Holy Blunt Rotation, right? I mean, one of them seeing ghosts, so I'd imagine that's a pretty strong. That's that dank right there. Find Christ, brother. No, thank you. You found lesbian Jesus. I mean, wouldn't Jesus in the Bible technically be a lesbian, right? Because or at least a woman, because he didn't have any sort of male DNA within him, you know. Former Christian here too. Do you ever miss tradition and rituals? I sometimes do. First off, good for you for getting out of that. Also, Blood Cobros, thank you for the rose. I appreciate it. Not really. I don't really miss the tradition or rituals anymore. You know, they were fun. There was things to do, but that's about it. It's having a dictatorship. I mean, it is just worshiping the same being for all of eternity. So if you call that dictatorship, I'd agree with you for sure. I wonder if Darth unfollowed you. I gotta check real quick. I gotta check. Probably knowing him, probably not. Eventually I gotta really hash it out with him, but it's just like he's a very exhausting person to talk to. No, he didn't. I'm gonna follow him back. Why not? Let's do it. Let's just follow Darth Dawkins back. Let's why not? You are so confused and lazy. I'm definitely lazy, I'd say that much, but confused is a little out there. If nothing matters and there's no guy in the sky keeping score, what's your move? It's down here. Hey, you gotta say thank you, gangs. Thank you for what? I said thank you for the rose. I said it. A dictatorship? Alright, sir. Enough. Enough. No more. God loves you. Turn to God, not from. Prove him, and I'll gladly turn to God. Just killing time until entropy eats your face. What the? This is, bro, I gotta screenshot this real quick. You're just killing time until entropy eats your face, or you got some bootleg meaning you cling to so you don't implode in the shower. Why in the shower? Why is the shower the place where I gotta implode? He, him, trans, non-binary, demi-boy, lesbian, Jesus. Yep. Absolutely. I believe Jesus is the only thing I hate about pastor is always talking about tithes. Oh yeah. I was happy to pay tithes when I was in the church, but looking back on it, yeah, I want my money back. He's 62. Make amends before it's too late. 63. Yeah. The last time I was doing like I can't remember words right now. I'm not even like I haven't even started smoking yet. What the fuck am I doing? But the last time I was doing Christian cosplay, like acting like a Christian, I came up. I was just like, he came up just firing off on all cylinders. I was like, whoa, brother Darth, how old are you? And he was just like bitched about being interrupted. Do I believe in darkness? If you're talking about like spiritual darkness or some sort of like evil force, then no. But if you're talking about just like the absence of physical light, then yes, I'm in mostly it right now. If I turned off my computer, I'd be in darkness. Who defines what's right and wrong? I literally already answered you. I said we do as humans. We as humans define what's right and wrong. I'm trying to say it's the most polite way of being a Christian is all from faith. Yeah, I know it's all about faith because they won't be able to prove the truth of their claim, so they have to say, "Oh, just have faith that it's true." And I find that to be highly inefficient. I don't think I should have faith in one particular religion over any of the other ones. Jesus was real, God is real, evolution's real, Big Bang was real, all a part of God's plan. Jesus was real, agreed. God is real, no. Evolution's real, yeah. Big Bang is real, yeah. So 3 for 4, we'll take it. But yeah, I gotta, yeah. Now that I follow him back though, I probably gotta let him up more often. Should I just mod him? It's my alt account too. I don't give a shit about this account. I'll just mod Darth Dawkins. I gotta make a poll for it. Why did you convert? I looked for evidence and all the evidence sucked. Looked at evidence. I was like, okay, this makes sense. Does that make sense? Does this and that make sense? And for the most part, the answer was no. I'll ask darkness to find your soul tonight. I mean, you can't talk to darkness. Would I be a Christian for a $250,000 a year salary? It depends on what I have to do, right? Like, do I have to just do I have to live as if I am a Christian with everything I do now? Like, when the random people that I'm talking to on customer service, they say like, "Oh, can I pray for you?" and all this extra stuff. Be like, I would love that. Thank you so much. Things like that. Switch over my streams from like atheism to arguing for Christianity and shit. Did all that for 250K a year. You know what? Yeah, why not? It's more than I make now. Fuck it, why not? Is being gay a sin? I don't think being gay is wrong in the slightest. I don't think that the universe cares about who's what consenting adult you know you stick your parts in. It's better just believe in him. If he isn't real, oh well. If he is, then you make it to heaven. Are you an omnist? Like, do you just say, oh, every religion's real just because of the potential upsides and downsides? No, you go by what you're convinced by. Do I believe in a devil? I don't believe in a devil. I think the devil's also fake. Space equals infinite, a concept we can't comprehend. It's so hard to believe God is real as space is infinite. I mean, oh wait, is it hard? Is it so hard to believe? Not, it is. It's hard to believe God if real space is infinite. I'm not seeing how the never-ending expanse of space is you know leads it has to do with the God claims. I'm not seeing the connection there. Bubblement, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Congrats on your sobriety from delusions. Yeah, it's good to be clear headed. Appreciate it. I pray that you convert back and get the evidence you need. Oh, you might be praying for quite a long time now. You have to be like an evangelist. Oh goodness. Oh shit. Online I might not be cooked because I mean people only know my last name. They don't know my first name. As far as I know, but as far as like if do I have to like be on the street like end is near type evangelist or just like I don't know whatever it is. Fuck it, yeah, 250K is decent money. That's decent money. I might have to say yeah to that one. uh Universal God is just like us but all present. I just consider I don't think the word God is necessary in that. I feel like if we're talking about reality and that's it, then yeah, that's just reality. I think that's good enough. Science can comprehend fully just as God can't. God can comprehend something. Science is a language that leads us to God. If that were the case, then there wouldn't be any atheist scientists, right? You don't understand or just being intellectually dishonest. You say culture defines what's right and wrong. Okay, fine. So if you grew up in a culture that says rape and murder is okay, are you seriously going to sit here and tell me that you're going to agree with that? I'll do you one better. If you were born in slavery times, you probably think that slavery is correct. You could want to try to separate your morals and your convictions from societal expectations, but I mean, by all means, but odds are you're going to be if you're being raised to only think one particular way, you're going to think that way. And if that were the case, like if there's anything different, I mean, if it were any way different, then we'd be able to substantiate such a thing, especially with a God that we want to claim is like the arbiter of these things, but who either condones these things or commands these things himself. So it makes no sense to me that the implication is that God's the arbiter of our morality. If you're a Christian, let's assume you're a Christian for a second, right? I don't know what religion you are, but let's assume you're a Christian. Like, oh, the arbiter of your morality. Like my morality says, rape is wrong, awful, terrible. You know, the arbiter of my morality, supposedly, if he's a god, the Christian God, condoned it. Deuteronomy 22. Does that make logical sense? Absolutely not. So why don't we live in a slave country anymore? anymore is kind of weird, especially considering there's like countries today that still have slaves and also countries that have never had slaves. I'm also atheist. He also thought there was lacking evidence of a god. Hell, welcome in, Cybernetic. Good to see you. Yeah, as no evidence. Give me evidence, and I will, you know, will acknowledge it. Why'd you lose faith? I just didn't see any evidence for Christianity being true. That's why I lost faith. If we exist, aliens exist. Probably. If our conscience exists, and omniconscious can exist too. I mean, possibly, sure, but substantiate it, right? Do I agree with Buddhism? Morally speaking, I think that they have some pretty solid takes, you know, but like super with the supernatural claims, like we're actually going to reach nirvana after we die if we, learn to, shed all of our humanity basically. And not really. There's slavery in the U.S. Can't forget that. Why straight from Christian to atheist, why not agnostic or deist? So how do I best explain this? When I was a Christian, I believed in obviously the Christian stuff. It's like not only believing in a God, but believing in all the claims of the Bible or the claims of my pastors and parents and shit, I should say. So when I deconstructed that and I realized that there was not only good evidence for the Christian God being real or the supernatural claims of the Bible being real, but also like a God existing altogether, I had to just tear all of that down. So it's like, okay, no evidence for a God. I have no reason to believe in a God, so there's no reason to like try to ease into it by thinking, oh, maybe there is, but it's just not the God of this book. Like, no. But as far as agnosticism go, I am agnostic. I don't know if there is such a thing out there. I feel like if it's outside of everything we can use to verify it, outside of all of the aspects of our reality, outside of the laws or rules of our reality, then it's an unknowable thing by default. So I think the honest thing to do would be to call yourself agnostic no matter what. You believe there's a higher being like a god, but isn't a god we interpret as somebody that has the abilities of what we consider godlike but common for them? If you're talking like a fourth dimensional being or something like that, no, I don't believe in any of that personally. I just don't see a reason to. What's up, Master Chef? How you doing? What took you so long? Being as thorough as I possibly could have been with the evidence is what took me so long to deconvert. God doesn't condone it, but he's permitted free will. He does condone it because in the Ten Commandments, he said, "Thou shalt not do this, thou shalt not do that, bear false witness, kill, steal." So that's why I don't say God condones those things, right? But if you want to turn around and say like, "Oh, what did he have to say about somebody essaying a woman who wasn't married and who was a virgin?" Oh, I'm not going to like God's like, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna say anything about that. Yeah, I'll allow it. Just make sure to pay your father 50 shekels of silver, and then take her as your wife forever. So, very clear condonement of essay. Once you start studying older Greek rituals, beliefs, and surrounding culture, cults, and biblical ways, that's just eye opening how unoriginal Christianity really was. Yeah, it was a copy of a copy of a copy. Uh, Atheism is not no evidence for God. It's actively believe there can't be a God. No, you're just outright incorrect. So, or at the very least, you accept an alternate definition that if I were to look up the definition right now, it would say nothing about or at the very least, it would back up what I have to say. Maybe what both of us have to say, but it's not an either or situation at that point. Do I believe in reincarnation? No, I don't believe in reincarnation. I don't believe in like souls or anything. How does God not exist? I just don't see any evidence for God's existence. You ever read Jesus' crucifixion and it ever makes you feel anything? Not really. From the outside in, it seems kind of odd that an omni being wants a human sacrifice to forgive for sins when he has the power to do anything he could ever want to. Seems a little odd to me. Uh, okay, now it's crashing out. Hate to see it. Funny how we actually know the evolution of Yahweh, the Christian God, which means he wasn't the creator. Yeah. Just they got monotheism from prior religions. They got virgin birth from prior religions. They got rising from the dead from prior religions. It's just unoriginal as shit. Do you believe the Bible is a true story? No, absolutely not. Like historical fiction, like references real places, some real people, sure, but do I believe that the entire story of the Bible is real? Absolutely not, especially the supernatural things. Glad you're agnostic. Being atheist is being in denial of greater forces. I'm agnostic and atheist. I don't believe in a god, but I I don't know if there's a God or not. I think it's unknowable. What made you become an atheist? So I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction, and deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, checking to see if we find any veracity of the claims of the faith. Ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. So that's why I left. Christianity is about having a relationship with God that's meant to be imperfect. I don't, I gotta think the guy exists first before we get into even an imperfect relationship, right? I'm in an imperfect relationship right now. I've only been in imperfect relationships, but at the very least, I could say the other party exists, right? So, yeah, that's it's not really how that goes. Even the story of the flood is copy and paste from early pagan religion. I mean, right, right. You block parrots. You might be blocking a lot of people tonight. If a voice spoke to you in any situation, would you re-question the existence of God? Depends on what they had to say and like what the context is. If I'm like taking some like eating some fungi, I don't know if I can say it on TikTok, but eating some fungi or something, and then all of a sudden I hear like hey, how you doing? Just out of the blue. Then I mean that makes perfect sense. My brain's not in a good state or like a default state. But it was just like a random voice like it feels like it's right next to me, says something that only I can know about, like that only it can know, that I have no prior knowledge of. Then that would give a lot more credence to it. That'd be a lot more convincing. Would I be completely totally convinced? I probably still would stick with the natural explanations first and try to rule those out, but at the very least it'll be something to chew on. You can't fix stupid. I agree. So that's probably, probably gotta. Forgot I'm not on Forgot I'm still on YouTube. I mean, still on TikTok. Still on TikTok. What's up, Peter Rain? How you doing? Would you rather believe in God and die and see no God, or not believe and die and see God? I would rather see nothing. If it was between like the Christian God's claim of like you go up to get judged and go to heaven or hell or whatever. Even if I went to heaven, like I'd still rather not see that. I'd still rather just like cease to exist. And I'd say like see nothing. I'd rather be nothing. I'd rather be completely reduced. Just like before I was born. Basically, I just want some sleep, man. Just let me sleep. What does God have to prove anything to you? Sure, you can argue that. I'd even go so far as to say I agree with you. All powerful creator of all of reality has to prove himself to little old me? No, of course not, right? Fair enough. He's got other things to do. But then the conclusion to that is that I have no reason to believe he exists. So that's really all there is to it. If he expects me to dedicate my life to him, then that's a two-way street. Prove you exist so that I can then go from there. But to just say, oh, he's too important for you, but dedicate your life anyway, I mean, fuck off, right? What do you think about Jesus? Apart from the resurrection, I think we can learn a lot from him, just like we would from Buddha. Still can the teachings, forget the supernatural claims. I feel like Jesus as a person or as a character, he was a fine guy. He was okay. He was cool, but I feel like he's not saying anything original. The same way I don't believe that Buddha's saying anything original. I feel like you can learn the like the golden rule, love thy neighbor, this, that, and the third. You can learn that outside of without the God of the Bible, or sorry, without Jesus Christ telling you that, right? Your heart is dark. My heart is dark for wanting a evidence for the person that expects me to live for them. Yeah, okay, for sure, dude. Do you still think religions such as Christianity are good for society? Absolutely not. Like religions in general, I think they can have some good, some bad. It's a mixed bag. Things happen, right? But with Christianity in particular, it's like I don't think we should, if we want to progress as a society and we want to, firstly, if we want to socially progress, then we probably shouldn't toss up our moral intuitions to like Bronze Age thinking, right? And simultaneously, if we want to make sure to flourish as human beings, we probably shouldn't accept an apocalyptic doctrine that says that nothing matters because we're just going to go to heaven afterward, right? So, like maybe God's not a lab rat, but more like a cosmic prank with no punchline. What's the absence of the test, or is that just theology's way of gaslighting logic? I mean, I've definitely pondered that before. Just like It's all just some weird joke on the punchline. That's fine. That's one way to think, but I feel like that's a little bleak. Even besides like how you emotionally feel about it being bleak, I feel like there's just not really any reason to think that. I'm saying if there's a chance God is real and what He says is true, then why not believe in Him? I just don't see any evidence that He exists, so that's why I don't believe in Him. And I gotta be honest with myself. I've digested the information, I've combed through the information, and it just doesn't appear that there's any reason to believe. God is a perfect being. As human, you aren't. In a way, the slave-master relationship is there. I mean, I'm not interested in being anybody's slave, so I don't know why we use that word. We should convert to your religion to Goobianity. We just worship my dog and he likes it. We have about 1,000 people so far. You know what? Send me your pamphlet. I got you. Yeah, make sure to include as many pics of the dog as possible. I mean, the god as possible. I would love that a lot. My dog just died and I prayed before it happened. I wasn't a Christian anyway. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How old were they? I'm so sorry. Faith isn't about being logical, sure, but that's by definition like my beliefs become illogical at that point. And so I'm just not gonna believe in things that are illogical. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get you on out of here. We don't like spam in here. Skadoosh. Have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you, but no, we don't do the spam. No spam. So go ahead, get you on out of here. Still do respect you because you're a person, and being an atheist is still a religion. Not really. I mean, I appreciate the respect, but I mean, just definitionally speaking, atheism is just as much a religion as Office a TV channel. Are you glad you were raised Christian, or would you rather have been raised agnostic, and why? I don't know. It's hard to say, because I only got the one life to work with. But just speaking objectively, or as objectively as I can, there were some upsides to being raised religious. You learn respect for people. That was something I kind of struggled a lot with before I really quote unquote gave my life over, which is like respect for my fellow person. Like I would acknowledge people, but like actually respecting them person to person was just I didn't have to learn to do that until I thought I was like, okay, well, let me respect this person so that I can win them over and show them the quote unquote represent Christ correctly for him. And while that was a toxic way to think, I mean, it worked for me. That was just where I was at. So that's just being objectively true there, or objectively, just recounting it. But speaking outside of that, it taught me also to be skeptical of things that didn't sound quite right, and not just accept things blindly at face value. And that's a really invaluable skill. And I don't know if I would have learned that either as soon or at all if I hadn't first been raised in a lie and then, learn how to deconstruct that. I believe God is the creator, but mankind has to solve their problems. God is not a genie. I don't think we should like solving problems. Which problems though, right? Like solve our genome that gives us cancer, solve earthquakes, solve tsunamis and all that good stuff. Is like I think a good enough God wouldn't have created these things. Like solve our issues with each other, like war, famine, things like that. Okay, sure, right? Yeah, I think we should progress to something more equitable for the average person. But there's a lot of things that aren't our fault that I think it would be on a good God to solve. Music theory, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Skibbity toilet real. I'm gonna tell you what is real. There's mute. Let me get you on out of here for the stream. Skadoosh, 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 skadoosh. It was funny the first. How many times did you send it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dude, 10 times, 11, 12, 13, 14 times, 15 times. Like, Jesus fuck, dude. Take your fucking Adderall, man. God damn. Take your Adderall, man. Sheesh. Anyway. God is love, unconditional love, but you better love him or else. Yeah, exactly. I just uploaded a video on my you're on my alt right now. This is like my alt account, but on my main account, I uploaded a video today where it's kind of funny. Where it's kind of touches on that a little bit. Uh Let's see here. What are you talking about? The evidence is around you. Can something come from nothing? I never said it did, so non-point. This man is contradicting his own self. If you were a Christian and revealed the truth and believed in it, now you're telling people to go against it. I'm not telling people to go against it. I'm having a discussion about why I left. That's all there is to it. Untie your panties, my man. All right, let me go and get you on out of here. Skadoosh? Are we skadooshed? Wait, what happened? Alcohol, tobacco, or drugs? Dude, come on. Let's submit appeal, dude. What are we even talking about? Alcohol, tobacco, or drugs? Huh? Like, come on, man. Anyway, let me just wait on my appeal to go through on TikTok because I didn't even say shit about alcohol, tobacco, or drugs on there. Keep in mind, Jesus perched the end of days. I guess preached the end of days would occur in his lifetime. True. He said these things. There will, the heaven and earth will pass away before he, all that good stuff. So, kind of odd how that goes. If I may ask, why'd you go back? Lack of evidence is why I went back. Bro's boyfriend broke up with him. My boyfriend did not break up with me. All right, I keep him happy. Let me stop. One were the Greek gods and Roman gods real? Same reason why the Christian God ain't real. Exactly. Why the Greek and Roman mythology died, whereas the Christian mythology didn't, is that they didn't just start claiming their gods outside of everything. Just how it goes. They literally hate you. Yeah, yeah. I can deal with like the people on TikTok not liking me. Like, okay, fair enough, right? Shit happens. Not everybody's emotionally intelligent, but TikTok themselves taking their side, no matter what, it's starting to get to me. I gotta milk it for all it's worth before I really gotta get monetized on YouTube as quick as possible. Like I don't even make shit off TikTok really, but I really just so I can have no incentive whatsoever to go back to TikTok. Zenny is just preaching. You have a question? Why not let me know if you see this as an atheist turned Christian? I'm curious on your view. Yeah, I see that part. What's up, David? Perhaps God is out there, but people, especially family, forcing scriptures in my face when I have things I want to do instead, and I'm well over that age. Forcing me into things just deters me, as it should. Nobody should be content to just accept things that are decided for them. I think we should all. I don't think that should be the case. Arc, how do you pronounce this? Arkin Wizar. Thank you for the follow. All right. You know what? Now that I'm off of TikTok, I'm about to really go in real quick. If you're no, never mind. Earlier I went the fuck in. I was like, fuck it. I'm off TikTok. Why not? Once you take the Bible seriously, you will stop taking it literally. Yeah. That's if you want to do like just postmodern apologetics. Oh well, all the stuff that's very clearly not real isn't real. Sure, if you want to just go that route, not be fundamentalist, that's cool. Like logically speaking, I feel like it's better for you, but it's why were the parts that are real, like the parts that you claim that are real, that are literal, show evidence for them. Because what I hear a lot of Christians try to do is like, oh, Adam and Eve story and all that good shit, Old Testament, the stuff that we can verify that is absolutely incorrect. Oh, that was all false. That was all false. But they refuse to call the resurrection of Jesus false for some odd reason. What's up, Cito? How you doing today? How's your day? There's plenty of evidence, man. You just gotta look for it. Oh no, that's just if that were the case, then I would have found it by now. What's your thought process when you made your choice to change? When I left Christianity, my thought process was like, damn. It was more so just like distrust because I'm like, man, who can I trust now? Like everybody I've trusted throughout my childhood just been maybe not even lying to me, but spreading a lie to me, spreading something that was untrue to me. So it's just like distrust to start. Like the quote unquote atheist rage. That was me for quite a bit. A fundamental law of matter is that it cannot be created or destroyed. How does that play into the theory of evolution? Evolution and the nature of matter and energy is it's in relativity are two entirely different things. I'm not like How does that track? One is biology, the other's physics. Please, Jesus is asking for you to come back. Tell him to, come by himself then. It's another thing that's kind of weird for me. All powerful God, let's think about this for a second. All powerful God, completely powerful, can do anything he wants to whatsoever. Um, but has to speak through people. Like, that's a little odd. Reviewed your appeal and restored your access. All right, let me go back live on TikTok. Yeah, fuck off, dude. Whoever reported me, I want you to know, just die. Just die already. If you're reporting me because you don't like what I have to say, you're not ready for the world. You're just not ready for this planet. Probably die off. Anyway, that goes for all the people on TikTok, not on YouTube. Really quickly, let me just show this real quick. 1:37 a.m., April 29th, 2025, Eastern Standard Time, original stream. Unchained Skeptic 2. I am the original guy. Yeah. So just flash that stuff up there and call that a day. There we go. It's not a religion, it's a relationship. It's a religion, sorry to tell you. What's up, Libra? How you doing? How did chimps turn into humans? Chimps didn't turn into humans. We have kind of did. We have a common ancestor with them. Just evolving traits to better fit our environment is how that happened. Why is this what the entire channel's about? Why wouldn't it be? It's a niche channel. Why is Mr. Beast about like games and entertainment and stuff like that? Why is I don't know, Demolition Ranch about guns? Why is any channel about anything? What has leaving Christianity opened up to you? Have you explored things that would be considered immoral in the eyes of Christianity? I mean, non-sexual as well. I mean, yeah, we are back. What's up, Cybernetic? Kind of not. I mean, like maybe in a couple ways, but not really. Um, if when I was a Christian, I wouldn't have stole from the self checkout, but nowadays, if I'm swiping items, dude, if I'm buying like what $50 worth of stuff, maybe I got a 10% off coupon if you catch my drift, right? When I was a Christian, maybe would have, um, maybe kind of getting into sexuality a little bit. I mean, I'm straight, but beforehand it was just like, if I found a dude handsome or something, then I wouldn't say couldn't be open about that. I mean, you can do whatever you want, kind of ish, right? But I would have felt weird being open about such a thing. But I'm here. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's some good looking dudes out there. I don't want to fuck them or anything, but there's some good looking dudes. But wouldn't have done that with when I was a Christian after I read Leviticus 20:13. So yeah, I'd say there's some things that have changed, but for the most part, I live around the same as I would have before. Libra, you are so obsessed. You're so obsessed with my sexuality. Okay, that's probably not helping my case. You steal from stores? I mean, do I steal from stores? We have to think about the word steal, and we have to think about the word store. I'm just kidding. Like, I mean, on occasion, some, right? Like, I'm not just putting shit in my pocket, but if they have a self checkout, here's the way I figure. If I got to be my own cashier, I'm going to leave myself a tip. I'm sorry, it's just the way it's going to go. Was there a single moment where you lost faith, or was it a gradual evolution? It was gradual for me. It was very gradual. It was like a year and a half. See here. Okay. Good night, Gooden, and see you later. Dude, appreciate you being here. Take care. But yeah, no, we're just no, not in the mood for some random schizo in my chat. Sorry. See here, what would you die? What lie would you die for? The apostles died for a lie if the resurrection is false. I mean, there's no contemporary evidence of the apostolic martyrdom. Let's start there. But even if there was, um, I'm not saying they died for a lie. I'm not even go as far as to say they died for their beliefs. Sure, but there's still no reason to consider dying for one's beliefs as credence for their beliefs being true. If that were the case, you might as well join Al Qaeda or the Branch Dravidians or the People's Temple. You know, Jim Jones and David Koresh and Osama bin Laden are all waiting for you. Are you more about being pro atheist or anti Jesus? I'm not anti Jesus really. So, you know, Jesus himself, he was just like it's whatever, right? Um, I don't know. I'm just pro. How to say pro? Honesty. I'm pro critical thinking. I'm pro respect whenever possible or whenever reasonable. I'm pro those things for sure. Yeah. There's my baby. There's your baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm. Mm-mm. This is kind of maybe TMI, dude, but for like the past minute or so, I felt a little bit not even like a throbbing down there, but like a ringing sensation. I was wondering where it's coming from. You know, it's just my daddy senses tingling. How you doing today? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? I just believe in logic. There you go. Exactly. All right, let's get you out of here. Yep. Hi from channel altogether. I don't need somebody like you here. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Skadoosh, man. Just skadoosh, man. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Ska fucking douche, man. Get skadooshed. When you were still Christian, how did you view the existence of dinosaurs? I believe they existed. I never had an issue with it. I was just like, I don't think I was ever so fundamentalist that I was like, you know, this tells an exact, like the Genesis story tells an exact account of how things were and science got it wrong and, you know, the dinosaurs didn't exist or anything. I believe they existed. I was like, okay, the evidence checks out. So, because like when I was a Christian and just learning about, you know, the dinosaurs when they lived, all that good stuff, in my thought, I'm like, okay, this level of evidence that's being shown to me by my science teachers can also be shown to me by my pastor for the religion I believe in. So I had no reason to question it. I was just from the position of thinking, okay, all science is real if they show evidence for it, but you know, God is the arbiter of that evidence. He's the one that quote unquote created science and created the reality that we use science to dissect. So that was my position for sure. Satan invented dinosaurs. Can't forget that. How you doing, Galileo? How's your day going? How's your day? How's your night? How's your strife? How's your wife? All that good stuff. What's your claim? I'm just joining in. I just don't believe in any gods. That's my claim. My what senses? You heard me. Would you be willing to read scientific articles about this topic? Sure. Yeah, why not? I'll mainly think about another universe made us. Oh no, I don't think another universe made us. You know, it's just not for me. What am I forgetting to do? Oh, connect to TikTok live. Boom, there we go. Thank you for the follow, Black Rose. I appreciate it. Boring? Okay, get muted. It's that simple. If this is boring for you, listen, I'm not even going to judge you for it. I'm not going to take offense to it. Some people need different levels of entertainment and stimulation, right? That's completely fair. I get it. This might not be cutting it for you. Hey, it's not for everybody. Fair is fair. But if it's boring, just don't be here. So I'll get you on out of here. Have a good rest of your night, ALG. Satan created dinosaurs sounds meta. No, man, I think they were onto something with that one. Galileo is a pretty smart person, so yeah, I think she might have cooked with it. More science, less mythology, please. Any day now. Nothing worse than an ex. Most know that applies to religion, cops, salesmen, and TV stars too. Ex-religion. I'm not seeing the issue with people being ex-religious. Ex-cops. Not seeing what's wrong with that. Not seeing what's wrong with ex-salesmen. Like, am I reading this correctly? I don't know. What's your opinion on the creation of something from nothing? I think that's impossible. I think it's impossible for nothing to become something, but luckily for me, I don't believe that nothing became something. I think nothing is, by definition, impossible, right? Because in order for it to be something, it would have to be something and not nothing. So if you ask me where did the universe come from, I think it's always existed. See here. I'm gonna put your picture on the screen real quick. I'm gonna be real mean real quick, just to make sure we're on the same page. Open image and new tab. I'm gonna be really petty real quick. Give me a second. Uh, one sec. I want y'all to know I'm not above being petty, but I'm gonna be really petty real quick. Give me a quick second. Display capture. Capture this monitor. Okay. Then let me go over here and then let me read her comment before I after I do this. Let's put this over here. Display capture. Boom. Display one. Apply. All right, now let me show the picture real quick and then read her comment. All right, let's put this up here. And then let's also put this up here. Right. And the comment that this person left me was congrats on joining the Church of Atheism. Your reward, the lake of fire. So yeah, that's quite literally all I have to say about that. That's all I got to say. Appreciate it, cherish. Thank you so much. But yeah, that is something. That is something. That is a person that exists. Reminds me of an animal I can't remember. I'd say like a oh man, what animal would I say? I probably can't talk too much about it, but there's. Let me say this. Yeah, that's a very beautiful person inside and out. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely beautiful person inside, beautiful person outside. Just the. Why did they Cherish? Where'd you go? Why'd you leave? I saw you scroll out. Wait, what happened? Why'd you leave? Why did Cherish leave? Wait, why did she leave? But anyway, yeah, yeah, just for TikTok purposes, she's very beautiful, very gorgeous, and she said something that was very profound, very smart. So I had to make sure to show my audience. Uh, you don't answer questions. I do answer questions, but I was busy. Why'd you leave God? I looked for evidence of God existing and found none of it convincing. That's why I left Christianity. Yeah, Cherish, come back. We were just getting started. Come on, man. I got to instead of like the Trump and Musk picture that people think I have for some odd reason, I gotta like add that one just like as a quick little jump scare. It doesn't make sense to be religious when we have a better understanding of the world. Yeah, for sure. I agree. I would be mean, but I'm gonna be nice. Good job, Galileo. Good job. Which God the reality is that the most of you don't believe in 99% of other gods that are claimed to exist throughout time. We're just adding one more to that group. Exactly. You don't believe in any of the gods except for your one. I'll just take it one step further than that. It's more logical to believe that something Eskermatus. What do you mean by it? Probably was a typo. What's Christianity like? Oh man, that's hard to answer. It's believing that somebody ate a fruit off of a tree and caused a generational curse on you, and then believing that the way to rectify that curse was a human sacrifice. That's what Christianity believes. So yeah. It's whatever you think that would feel like is exactly what that would feel like. Also, what was I trying to check? I was trying to do something over here, but then I got jump scared by that picture. Oh, check my viewership. Oh, 91. Hell yeah. Like the stream, y'all. Make sure to like the stream. Send some likes, dude. Yeah, let's like this thing. Why did you leave? Lack of evidence. You believe in 500 billion species that have no proof. You have more myths than the Bible. Wait, now walk with Timothy. I'm gonna get you out of here real quick. Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Walk with Timothy. Because you always say just the dumbest stuff possible. Let me check your bio real quick. I'm Timothy. Oh, special needs artist. Oh shit. Oh shit. Well, oh shit. Um, hmm. Hmm. Where do I go from here? Hmm. Do I say like that's no excuse and treat you as if you know, or do I I don't know. It's just like because you always come in saying like the worst possible, just the most outlandish stuff possible. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna be ableist. No excuse. Get the fuck out. Skadoosh. Have a good one. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you being here. The host is arguing over God he says to not exist. Jacob's Ladder, you can go to. You're another one of those repeat dumbasses in GTA 5. You're actually a really smart person in real life. Nay said low key. Nay, aren't you a rape apologist? Do you like pizza rolls? I love pizza rolls. Yeah. Love me some pizza rolls. Don't swear me and it's against God. Don't tell me what to do. You explain kind of why you're an atheist. I'm just curious, no hate. I just don't see any evidence for God being real. That's the one and only reason I'm an atheist. Where you get your morality from? Empathy, societal expectations, societal upbringing, cultural upbringing, parental upbringing, mental state, life circumstances, and by extension, like for if I were religious beliefs would also possibly would kind of do it. Do you consider you might be in an ant farm to entertain God? That would explain a lot of things, but personally, no. Do you consider? Oh, already read that. I'm in a thought loop right now. Look at who came up with the Big Bang Theory and why he came up with it. Here's a fun story. Lyrical. I did a a video where I talked about George Lamette and his religion, the implications behind why he came up with the what was it called, the primeval atom hypothesis or whatever that was later, the framework for the Big Bang. He was a Catholic priest, absolutely. There was, but over 90% of Belgium at the time were Catholic, so that's not really outlandish to think that somebody from Belgium who did a thing would have been Catholic, right? Um, Even beside that point, he made sure to separate his faith and his science. If you don't believe me, I'll pull up the Wikipedia article right now. The Pope at the time was saying that was trying to commend him for drawing a parallel between creation ex nihilo and the primeval atom theory. And George basically said, yeah, please don't try to intermingle religion with science. They're two entirely different things. Because he was an intellectually honest person. So, no, there was no religious implications or religious intentions behind him making his discoveries or, doing his physics. That's just a common myth. Tommy Gunn, thank you for subscribing. No, wait, not from earlier. Shoot bag. Crying Child, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Have you ever fasted? I fasted a few times, yeah. I've hated it each time. Probably more than the average person. Not sure if you saw my previous reply. No, I haven't. Let me go ahead and scroll up real quick. Skadoosh, skadoosh, skadooshy dooshy doosh. Skadoosh, 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 skadoosh. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll check my messages after the stream. I'll give those a look. You should look into subjective and objective naturalism. It explains a lot more logical theory than atheism. Subjective and objective natural. Sure, yeah, why not? The Bible is first by your logic that matters. Are you talking to somebody else? Oh, I'll see here. What does believing have that it's so exhausting that you decide to stop believing it? The lack of truth is what's so quote unquote exhausting. If it were true, then I'd have no issue believing in it, whether or not it was exhausting. Here's a fun fact. Quite literally yesterday, I shit you not, yesterday, I found out somebody that I was a good friend with 10 years ago. I found out he killed himself not that long ago. And that's exhausting information, but it is the fact of the matter, so I have no issue accepting it. The Plague Doctor, I'm gonna go ahead and roll you in a pack real quick. Put user in timeout. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. I'm about to roll you up. Let's roll this motherfucker up real quick. 1 second. Where's my shit at? Where is my shit at? And I can't find it. I probably left it in the kitchen or something. What do you think about Islam? I'm not gonna comment on Islam. I don't comment on it for reasons. I don't know why we have so many spammers tonight. Skadoosh, man. Hi, hello, good to see you. No need to spam it a bunch of times. Bye bye, take care. Atheism isn't supposed to explain anything, dude. No shit. yeah, lack of belief in gods as opposed to explain the all of reality. I guess there you go. Why do these people have such a their epistemology? It's just it makes me scratch my head sometimes. Your chat is kind of low tier. What do you, duh. Made you change to atheism? Lack of evidence. I've left my religion after I realized there was a lack of evidence supporting it. It's the only reason I left. But to be completely fair, I'd say I'm pretty low tier myself. You know, I'm about to become a lot lower tier as soon as I find my thingamabob that I'm not going to mention on TikTok. Bro's too smart to talk about Islam. Yeah, I learned my lesson. Say literally any like if you could talk about the book itself, literally say anything about the book, and they'll just report you for it. So no, I'm just I pick my battles. As a matter of fact, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that in my chat settings real quick. I don't even want to have that be a question on here. Give me a second. Where is it? Where is it? Not detach. Oh, there you are. Chat settings, more chat settings. Do I believe in deism? No, I don't believe in deism. I don't see a reason to presuppose a creator with all the facts I know about reality. It just seems like it's making one more unnecessary step. Let's see here. I could take these out. I don't mind if people talk politics, but let's see what we got here. Let's put that out of here. And let me add the words. Islam, Muhammad, Quran. That should be good for now, but yeah, I'm not gonna discuss that whatsoever ever again. Especially at least while I'm on TikTok. YouTube doesn't care, but on TikTok it's just I'm sick of getting suspended for no reason. You're pagan, pleasure to meet an atheist. Likewise, Linda. Pleasure to meet a pagan. Good to see you. What's up, Tilderchili? Tilderchili? I don't know how you doing today. All right, let me catch up on comments. I gotta lock in. Let me lock in real quick. According to the Bible, a new heaven and just preaching, still preaching. How do you find a way to wrap your mind around existence in the absence of a higher being? As a brute fact, honestly, this universe is formed in a way where it allows for life, and I just so happen to be the life. So that's pretty cool. Curious or atheist but respect religion. I think the world is better if everyone tries to be good than the inverse. Yeah, I think if we work towards some sort of equity, some sort of egalitarianism, we'll be a lot better off. I just don't think that religion in and of itself is the best way to go about that. So I'm kind of anti-theistic in that regard. It's crazy how there's still conflict due to religious beliefs. Yeah, even within even in like the most what's the word I'm looking for, theocratic nations out there that kind of believe one thing more or less. There's still, all this conflict about what's the right way to go about things. Kind of odd how that works. Naturalism, especially if you balance objective reality with subjective experience carefully, is definitionally in the top five most logical theories of reality. I'm not seeing how that's at all contradictory with atheism, though, or at the very least, like how it says something that's in the same metric of atheism. You're going to bed with a one debate. Hell yeah! Put the give yourself a gold star. Sleep it on your cheek. Have you ever had a spiritual experience at all? I had what I thought was a spiritual experience, yeah, but looking back, I just think it was good feelings and dopamine and serotonin and all that good stuff pumping. What do you talk so much about if you have a rejective belief in a God? Very good question, and I love answering it. So I live in the United States of America, and 60% of the country is Christian in some regard. It's, one of the richest countries on the planet, one of the, I think, either number one or number two military on the planet. And and despite that, we're still at a point of using our religious beliefs to disparage people who identify with a gender that's maybe not entirely reflective of the body that they have, to disparage people who are, just doing consenting adult activities with other consenting adults who happen to be of the same sex. and we're trying to use our religion to do all sorts of dumb things. And so I feel like making people critically think about why they believe the things that they do is the best way to get people to maybe take a step back and realize, like, maybe I shouldn't use a dusty old book from 2,000 years ago to try to tell trans people that their identities are invalid. You get me? You see where I'm coming from? I got a question about Islam. If Islam is so great, it's the one true religion, then why is a good portion of Islamic countries on the sheesh? Excellent question, not Bob, but I'm on TikTok right now, so I'm not even gonna read the rest of it. Their question was like, if Islam's so good, why is a good portion of Islamic countries very rich and very great and very awesome people, lovely, amazing people? Yep. 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 What is Ezekiel bread? It's bread made with human feces, according to Ezekiel. I want to say it's chapter, I forget, but it's just look it up. It's kind of fun stuff. But in a modern, like it's a modern product. It's just like this really, it's decent. It's decent bread. It's like this kind of cheap, really whole grain bread. It's fun stuff. Matter of fact, yeah, no, I got you. Because a lot of y'all aren't gonna believe me. So let me look it up real quick. Let me get get that for you. Um, let's see here. Okay, there it is. This NIV, it's not the greatest, but this is Ezekiel chapter 4, verses 9 through, let's go through 13 really quickly. Wait, so you support LGBTQ? I support and love my LGBTQ people. Yeah, I'll do you one better. I don't think I just don't care. I think somebody's sexuality is it's just I think it's dumb for me to even for me or anybody else to just even ponder on it so much when we're talking about consenting adults here. Take wheat and barley, beans and lentils, millet and spelt, put them in a storage jar, and use them to make bread for yourself. You are to eat it during the 390 days you lie in your side. Weigh out 20 shekels of food to eat each day and eat it at set times. Also measure out a sixth of the hin of water and drink it at set times. Eat the food as you would a loaf of barley bread, bacon in the sight of the people, using human excrement for fuel. The Lord said, in this way the people of Israel will eat defiled food among the nations where I will drive them. Yeah. There's shit in the bread. There's shit in the bread. There's shitting in the bread. That's what Ezekiel bread is. But the modern recipe obviously is just like barley and all that other stuff. Hold the shit. They kind of hold the poop. Why did you believe in God and why don't you now? I was raised to be a Christian. That's why I believed in it. It was the truth that I was told from as far back as I can remember. So, if you trust the people that are responsible for you living and dying, of course you're going to trust that they're, correct about the reality that you share with them. I'm not a Christian anymore though, because once I got to the age of like 18, I read the Bible, thought differently about God after finishing the Bible, looking to apologetics to kind of get some answers for the questions that I had. The apologetics were given unsatisfactory answers, raising more questions than not. And so after that, looked at the evidence, and then all the evidence sucked, and that's why I left Christianity. Were you really a Christian though? Yeah, I was a Christian. Guess you'll throw out the Ezekiel bread you got at the store. No, that should be fine. You should be good to make a nice little ham sandwich with that. Kind of funny, it's like ham sandwich, but it's like an Old Testament recipe where they were still under Jewish law and wouldn't have eaten ham. But yeah, make a nice ham sandwich. I'm not gonna promise you there might be a little poop finger in there, but your Ezekiel bread should be free of human excrement. Have a good rest of your night, Skullvex. Appreciate you being here. Who pooped in my bread? Let me find out motherfucker pooped in my bread, dude. I was like, oh man. Oh, this bread is so good. Oh my god, what's in here? Oh, I taste some barley. I see some millet. I think that's some spelt in there. Oh, this is wonderful. Hey, I taste a little something like tangy in here. I see some like, what, you use like corn or something? I don't know. What's in here? I see a little corn kernel. And let me find out this motherfucker shit in my bread. I'm crashing out. I'm going to prison. It's over. It's GG. It's over with. It's done and dusted. We respect your belief. Love to hear it. Thank you. Guess uh Gainator guy, thank you. I mean, welcome in. Sir, in India and Pakistan, Muslim worship dead man, also known as Darga Mazar. That's I'll take your word for it, and I will say nothing positive or negative about it because apparently saying literally anything whatsoever about Islam while I'm live on TikTok means that I get taken down for a week. So there you go. If I were off of TikTok right now, I would have a lot to say though. I haven't done anything bad in my life that would send me to hell. Me either. I'm not. I'm failing to see how me being alive as a regular imperfect being is means that I should be to suffer for all of eternity. How does God not exist if He Himself is existence? I mean, you could just define God to be existence, but I'm not required to accept like an alternate definition. If I were just say like I don't know, fuck, my inhaler is God, and my inhaler's right here, therefore God is real. Like that would be absurd. Do you miss the comfort of knowing someone's always there for you? Yes and no. Yes, in that there was somebody I believed I could call on in hard times. No, in that there was somebody I believed that was watching me jerk off. We created God, not the other way around. Yeah, exactly. Is this rage bait? No. It's not that I care and I agree on consent in adults, but if you look in the past, the fall of society is seen as a result of hedonism. I think the dating scene is hedonistic in all genders. I mean, I don't think the fix for the hedonistic. I'm not like I'm not seeing the link between hedonism and homosexuality, right? Like the pursuit of pleasure, no matter what, is going to qualify straight sex too, right? So I'm failing to see it. If you want to argue that, then sure, but then your not response, but your conclusion should be that everybody should wear a chastity belt, no matter what gender you are, and just call it a day. If you want to argue like, oh, just straight people should be able to have their fun with other consenting adults, and people that aren't attracted to the opposite sex shouldn't, then I just call you a I would just call you a moron. Have you done DMT? Yes, I've done DMT once. And by the way, TikTok, DMT means this massive tomato. It's a slang term for like this, like a beefsteak tomato. That's the only DMT I've done. How long were you a Christian? I was a Christian for 19 years. So like as far back as I can remember until the age of 19. I fail to see how eating cat makes me deserving of eternal punishment. Like, oh no, Jesus can't. Exactly. Like if he didn't want me to put my mouth on it, he wouldn't have made it so delicious. You know. So I'm failing to see it. The existence of reality suggests a necessary eternal foundation. Pure nothingness cannot logically give rise to something at all. You said a lot of words there. It sounded nice. It sounded all philosophical and nice and smart and stuff. But it makes the major flaw of assuming that to not believe in a God means that you have to believe that there was ever nothing. That's a baseless, random, kind of outlandish presupposition. Human bones going back 30,000 years, but yet the Earth is only 7,000 years old. That too, yeah. Dinosaur bones from millions of years ago. Even their bones and all like their fossils being converted into oil at some point and being used for fossil fuels. Um, Uranium lead dating. Fossils from ancient species on top of mountains showing that continental drift occurred. It's just if you think the Earth is anything under, if you say like if you at least say a million years old, at the very least a million, there's something to work with there. It's a lot more than that, but at least there's something to work with. If you think it's like anything in the thousands, I don't know what to tell you. Timmy, I'm not going to debate you about whether or not I was a Christian. I'm not Timmy, and Timmy is not me. So if me says I was a Christian, then I was a Christian. If Timmy says he's a Christian, then Timmy was a Christian. But me doesn't like me is not gonna say I wasn't a Christian because some random literal Timmy came into my chat trying to separate me from his belief because he he can't wrap his mind around his belief being imperfect enough to be left by people. The amount of Christians I know who believe that dinosaurs are a conspiracy, it's an unfortunate number. Yeah. But I'm Timmy, you're not. Yes, correct. Yes, that is correct. You are Timmy, and I'm not Timmy. And I am also me, and you are not me. So any claims that me makes about me are a lot more likely to be true than Timmy makes about me. And conversely, any claims that me makes about Timmy are a lot less likely to be true than the claims that Timmy makes about Timmy. I don't care. I'm just telling you. Care about this mute, asshole. Good news. Good news. Have a good one. Have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you. Take care. Have a good one. Noah, game on. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. Don't spam, dude. We don't do spam around here. I get the question a lot. If you literally stay in the stream for longer than 5 minutes, you'd hear me answer it at least twice. I repeat myself a lot, so I get if you just scrolled in, I get it, but that's still no excuse to come in spamming the same, like, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. It's just, yeah. Bye bye. If you don't mind me asking, what parts did you find lacking evidence? The supernatural claims, resurrection, people being born of a virgin, the earth being 6,000 years old, all the stuff that we can verify either normally doesn't happen or definitely did not happen. Why did you stop believing? Lack of evidence is why I stopped believing. I don't know about a God, but I know that I'm a duck. Did you create yourself? No, my parents did. Did the trees grow themselves? Yes. Did the brain develop itself? Kind of, in a way. Did I birth myself? No. You have more faith as an atheist than me as a Christian. Anthony, I'm not in the mood for intellectually dishonest people tonight, dude. I'm sorry. Just, normally I'd love to go back and forth about the level of faith it takes to believe in talking animals versus, like, the level of faith it takes to not believe in talking animals, but I'm just not in the mood. You can fuck off, actually. You can fuck all the way off. Mello, thank you for the follow, and went on to follow you on this account. Appreciate the follow, dude. It's my backup account, that's why. So I'm suspended on my main, so I'm just going live on here in the meantime. That's why the viewer count is 6 instead of like 30 or so. You were born atheist and never really thought Christianity made sense. Oh, you got lucky, dude. You got real lucky. You've been a bad boy. Oh, I've been a bad boy. Yeah. Oi. 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 You want another? Yeah. Yes, please. Oi. Kirara, thank you for the follow. Have you seen the movie Sinners? No, but I'm gonna see it on like Saturday. There's God in everything. Going back to regular conversation after that, it's just stupid. There's God in everything, whether you want to capitalize the G is up to you. I think there's things in everything. I think there's plastic in plastic. I think there's albuterol in my inhaler. I wouldn't call anything God though. Lowercase or capital G. That sound does nothing for me. Sorry. I wasn't trying to be titillizing. I was just I was getting punished, and so I had to I just reacted naturally. Is this pre-recorded? No, this is not pre-recorded. This is a live stream at TikTok. Live stream. Unchained Skeptic 2 is the original broadcaster of this stream, right? If somebody else broadcasts my shit, I didn't tell them to, and that's not on me. Unchained Skeptic 2, 2:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, April 29th, 2025, TikTok. That was so stupid, because like they denied it so quickly the last time they did it. Like, they restricted my gifting for a stream based on unoriginal or reproduced content. Motherfucker, by who? Like, huh? So now I got to do this weird shtick of like, oh, my stream's original, and I can't even joke to people that it's pre-recorded or anymore. It's so fucking dumb. I'll be so glad to be off TikTok, man. I'll like the day that my YouTube is like starts to take off a little bit more, I am literally off TikTok forever. Forever. Never, ever, ever coming back. I don't believe you're really truly Christian if you turn to atheism. Luckily for me, RC, my life is affected exactly 0% by your personal opinion. So I know what I was. I'm saying what I was. If you don't want to engage with the claims that I make about myself and my life, I mean that's your prerogative. I'm not going to take that from you, right? But am I going to entertain your like? Am I going to be like, no, please, RC, please, random TikTok person. Oh no, I was a Christian. Please, I love the Jesus. No, like, no, I'm not going to do that. Come on, man. Does the body have a soul, or is it just controlled by a brain? The evidence leads me to believe that it's just the brain. I don't believe in a soul personally. I think if there was a soul or something outside of the body that controlled the body, then brain damage wouldn't affect our personalities. The real question is, can we all get along? I would hope so, but I don't think that's going to be the case for a long, long time. Can I watch this movie called The Message? What's it about? Look around us. Okay, now what? See here, our body is controlled by the mind, and my personal belief is that souls aren't real as much as God doesn't exist. I would agree with you. Yeah. Why cis? Although I guess you mean why did? It's just a typo because I'm like, why cis? You become an atheist? Like I'm not cis. I'm bro. You know. But lack of evidence. Is this really for atheists like me? It's preferably, yeah. I know non-believers are gonna be in here. I fully expect it, and that's kind of why I put the stream up anyway. But yeah, yeah. I'm telling you how to live your life. I'm saying if you stop believing in God, that you never truly believed in Him in the first place. You know what that means? You know what that means, y'all? Oh wait, no. There's only 8 people on TikTok. There might not be a prayer tonight. Libra, you win this round. You win this one. I was about to pray so hard, but anyway, yeah, RC, I don't give a shit. Sorry. I'm not gonna go back and forth with some random on TikTok who without a profile picture for about whether or not I was a Christian when you don't know shit about me. Sorry, dude. How to make garlic bread? I like French loaf. You could use like a white loaf too, works in a pinch. To make sure it's like a nice hearty, like a Pullman, not like the Wonder Bread. I mean, that'll work in a pinch if you just like really want the taste of garlic bread. But get some of that. Get some. The better you can get your ingredients, like the more money you have to make it, the better. Because like the butter that you use makes a difference. Just don't use margarine. Margarine's gross. It's cheap, but ultimately it's just oil. So all you're gonna have is like an oily mess. Good butter is good. If not, though, some regular schmegular salted butter would do. Garlic powder, maybe just use a little tiny bit of garlic powder and some fresh garlic. Make sure you roast it a little bit beforehand. You can maybe like wrap it in some foil, cover it in olive oil, put it in the oven if you want to. But if you're not bougie like that, you just like cut it up, saute it a little bit. Or if you're like really, really pinched for time, you could just like throw it in raw. Why not? Just cut it as thin as humanly possible. But mix that together, a little parsley, a little black pepper. If your butter's salted, you need a little bit less. If not, like a maybe like nice little pinch of salt in there. Um, and here's the kicker for it: just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, and I mean just the tiniest bit of cayenne pepper. I'm talking such a small smidge, it'll make all the difference. It'll really punch up that garlic flavor a little bit. It'll leave a little bit of lingering heat, but not that like garlicky sort of, kind of unpleasant bite that garlic has. You can use cheese if you want to. Personally, I mean, I love cheese on garlic bread, but like it's not necessary. It's good either way. Let's throw that in the oven, 350 or maybe a little bit lower if you're trying to really get some crisp on the bottom and let the butter itself dry out a little bit. But quick and like maybe like a 350 for about I don't know how strong your oven is, so but yeah, 350 roundabout do you for a couple of minutes just until the butter's melted in and it gets nice and toasted. Take it out, enjoy. AK103 Gabriel, thank you for the follow. See here, okay, don't go back and forth when you make a live with this as a statement, then refuse to take criticism. What kind of criticism is there to take? I want you to think about this for a second. Like, imagine this for a second, right? Put yourself in my shoes for a bit. You grow up in Christianity. It's all that you know. Then one day you're like, okay, this doesn't make all that much sense to me anymore. I don't believe in it anymore. 10 years later, you're like, hey, I want to start having some streams talking about religion. Let's talk about my Christian experience. And then some random chuckle fuck comes into your chat. It's like, oh, you weren't actually a thing. You weren't the thing that you say that you were. You know, would you appreciate that? And even if you didn't appreciate it, and you like got snippy with them, got sarcastic with them, kind of bit back at them a little bit. Imagine if they were like, oh, you're just not accepting criticism, you know? Is there criticism to be accepted about something that you were and that you know you were? Like, come on, man. Former Muslim, now an atheist. Welcome in. I know that must have been a rough one. I know Islam is a hard religion to leave. Oh, hi. What's up, Magnolia? Good to see you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you, Emily. Glad you're here. Love to see you. Anyway, the idea of common sense from God suggests that God has equipped people with a fundamental ability to understand and make sound judgments. I mean, so we could look around and see that's false. So, yeah, that's personally one I disagree with. I don't agree with anybody spreading that one. Try some native sites. What's some native sites that I should try out? I feel like my my grandma would have got a kick out of it. You should read Evidences. It's a book full of arguments why God is real. If you're talking about the one that has like, what is it, like 500 arguments, I haven't read it, but a lot of them are like repeat arguments. There's like 15, 16 different variations of the ontological argument in there. Wouldn't be for me. Nothing comes through the Father except through me. That's a phrase for sure. God has equipped you with knowledge and then lean on it to your own understanding. Right. Here's a brain to think. Here's moral intuitions, but throw them away when it comes to the things that, like, morally dissecting the things that I did. Here's a brain, but just turn it off and lean not on your own understanding. Here's a life. Here's the ability to see things and the ability to take in information, but just throw it away. When it comes to, like, you'll be blessed for not seeking who believe, like, if for not seeking evidence for the things you believe in, according to John 20:29. We believe in what it is. What do you mean by that? What do you mean, Emily? Have a good rest of your night, Glenn. Appreciate you being here. Why do you not believe in God? I don't believe in God because I don't see any convincing evidence for God being real. That's the only one reason I don't believe. You're a Hellenistic polytheist? Ooh. That wasn't even that popular of a song, and it fell off really quickly, so I probably seem very schizophrenic. The song was called Grease, by the way, so that's why I started humming it. Yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, welcome in. Aliens are far more likely to exist. Yeah, I believe that aliens exist. I just don't think we've ever accessed them and never will be able to. Is God bad? I think the Christian God's pretty fucked up. Yeah, I think that flooding the whole planet, you know, being shows he was genocidal, condoning slavery, condoning SA, commanding infanticide, putting a generational curse on people for that, you know, for something that you knew they would do, setting them up in the first place by putting the thing that you don't want them to eat from in the quite literal center of the garden, and then also allowing a snake into the garden, needing the sacrifice of a perfect human in order to forgive that sin, and then like still letting people be disqualified from it just for not believing in any of it to be real. It's just, yeah, I think it's safe to call God bad for sure. You know my voice? Do you know my voice? Am I familiar to you? You probably follow my other account. That's probably where you know me from. You left Christianity too, but you became a pagan instead. Hey, we do what we do. Hell yeah. I respect paganism for sure. Y'all aren't going around trying to limit trans people's rights. So love the hell out of y'all. Pretty sure The Good Place is giving my brother a faith crisis tonight. I haven't seen The Good Place, but I feel like that'll be right up my alley. Seems like the perfect mix of like of introspective, philosophical, and also funny. Maybe, possibly. I like how many pagans are always in these lives. Yeah, I love my pagan peeps for sure. Don't you think having faith would give you hope and be optimistic? For me in particular, not really. It just didn't work for me. I'm not just saying that because I don't believe in it necessarily, but even when I did have faith, it's like there was a lot of strife that came with why aren't my prayers getting answered? Why am I not getting help through this situation? Things like that. And so there's a lot of needing to rationalize these things. And so, it's just not something that I would even want to go through again. He's a scientist? No, I'm not a scientist at all. I'm a college dropout. Braylee, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Do you remember me? I'm glad you remember me. What's up, Shane? Good to see you. You should read. Oh, you already you're spamming. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go get you out of here. I already addressed this. So if you're spamming, I'm gonna think you're a bot or AI or something. And I don't deal with that. I don't allow AI in my chat. So see you later. No, I appreciate you being here. It's basically right. Might makes right morality exactly. It's like, oh, he says he's all good, therefore he is because he said he's all good. So okay, sure. I feel like that's a dangerous thing to follow. I like that people make paganism less of an Abrahamic religion, more of its own thing. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm glad that I wish its rituals and like traditions didn't get co-opted by Christians, but yeah, I'm glad that they're all just kind of doing their own thing in their own different regions. From 5 to 100 live viewers, yeah, YouTube's great, dude. I'm loving YouTube. Now, when I get my watch hours though, oh, that's gonna be the good stuff. Once I'm able to turn on super chats, it's all over. I say it's all over, like I'm gonna go from making any money to making any money. You never you're never a Christian and you never wanted to be saved. Whatever you say, Shadow. Can you tell us why you stopped believing and you're genuinely curious? I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction, and deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. Gazoo, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Why do people force religions on kids? My childhood has been ripped from me due to my Jehovah's Witness parents forcing it on me. It's mentally crushing me. Dude, yeah. The fucked up part about a lot of religion is that it tells people to do such a thing, and also it dies out if people don't do that, right? Like imagine telling people that we all descended from two people, like all 8 billion of us descended from only two people, one made from dust, the other made from a rib. And they were tricked by a talking snake, and that's why bad things happen. Imagine telling it to somebody who's like 20 years old. They laugh you out of the room, right? They look at you like, oh, okay, well, it was nice to meet you, like trying to brush you off. Because it makes no sense. Now tell it to a kid who doesn't know any better and try to plant that seed in them to make them like, and mold them into like the perfect spreader of the religion, and it continues. So, yeah, fuck indoctrination. Fuck indoctrination. That cloth with Jesus' oil marks that Christians parade around that's made in 13th century AD. Yeah, the Shroud of Turin. It's been debunked 5 ways to Sunday. Ooh, Stream Cheese. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. JWs are clueless. They're some interesting people. Very interesting. You're Christian, but don't force religion on anyone, so you respect my decision. Well, appreciate that. Thank you, Franny. We have to think for yourself. How did what do you mean? Indoctrination, yeah. Fuck it. Let's get a big F indoctrination in chat, because you can't say fuck on TikTok apparently. An angel dies every time someone brings up the Shroud of Turin. Yeah. And it's like all you can do is you can just look up the Wikipedia. look at its sources. Look what the microscopists and the people that work with carbon dating, look what they have to say about it. X John X, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. While I got y'all in here, let me just shill for myself really quickly. Kuro Nushi, thank you for the follow on the TikTok. Thank you so much. While I got y'all in here, let me shill for myself really quickly. I got other stuff. Make sure to follow my other stuff. Oh shit. There we go. Yeah, follow my other stuff. Subscribe to the YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, follow my TikTok. I got 2 TikToks. I'm live on the second one, not the first one. I got a main and a backup. Follow those. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram if you have it. Twitch, Kick, or Trovo if you have it. Yeah, follow my things. It's all right there. All that good stuff. Check it out. Why not? It's 1:30. You gotta sleep. Have a good rest of your night, Nanology. Appreciate it. Do I celebrate Easter or Christmas in a completely secular way? Yeah, I just eat a lot of candy and then watch related media. Like on Christmas, I just like watch Christmas movies and stuff, and hand out gifts, eat candy canes. I love candy canes, by the way, but I eat candy canes. Yeah, that's all I really do. No, I don't really celebrate in a way of like, oh, this is the birth of Jesus, this is the resurrection of Jesus. Nah, none of that stuff. When I interest you in Flying Spaghetti Monster, my Lord and Savior, I'm already saved by his noodly appendage. Ramen, man. Trump would have kicked out Jesus for loving all people, leaving the left. Yeah, exactly. Dude would have been crucified all over again. They would have brought back crucifixion just for him. Let a motherfucker walk around telling people to sell all that they have and be his disciple. They'd be like, you commie. Be over for him. Some short brown dude walking around preaching love and poverty. Yeah. GOP's worst nightmare. Trump would have deported him. If that, he probably would have sent him to El Salvador instead of back to his native Israel. Just woke up. Damn, he's still streaming. Yeah, I've only been live for an hour and a half. He must have took a very short nap. If you're talking about the stream from earlier, no, that one went for about 3 hours, and then I like 12 hours after that I started streaming again. So like somewhere in there. How do you know there's no God if no one knows how the Big Bang happened? I don't know that there's no God. I'm just not convinced of the existence of one. It's just like I'm not asserting there is no God whatsoever. I'm saying I don't believe in a God. I have no reason to believe that a God is the explanation for the expansion of the universe. What's up, Only Plans? Good to see you. What's your thought on God helping us? I'm born with cystic fibrosis, a genetic lung disease. Ooh, that's a rough one, man. That is a rough one. I had a friend in Ohio with CF, dude. That shit is rough. And then when you start, when it gets out of control, then you gotta hurry up and like get drained and stuff. It's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. For me personally, like as an atheist, I don't believe God helps anybody because I don't believe that a God exists. As a Christian, though, it was the way that I rationalized it was that God never promised he never promised a world without suffering, and so that's why awful shit happens. But looking back, that's a very awful way to think. So I would consider it the responsibility of somebody who claims to be all good to help out their creation. I think that should be pretty obvious. So, but yeah, all that to say, yeah, sorry for the CF, dude. CF that sucks. Since you weren't a Christian, do you still have core moral beliefs of Christians? I don't know if there's like a single Christian core belief, honestly. Do I love thy neighbor? I try my best to. Do I try to do unto others only as I would want done unto me? I mean, within reason, right? I can't make the joke I want to, but yeah, I try my best to. But these aren't like endemic to Christianity itself, right? Like you don't need to be a Christian to have these values. So the fact that people who are Christian don't have these values, some of them, and the fact that people who aren't Christian do shows that like religion has nothing to do with people having these sorts of values. Are you bringing anyone up? No, I'm going to end on TikTok soon and just like switch over, like, well, not switch over to YouTube, but continue on just the YouTube channel. But I'm not bringing up any guests today, especially because like I get taken down way too often. Singkids.com, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You made a good choice, not gonna lie. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think I've, wouldn't say made a choice per se, but like I'd say my convictions are most in line with reality for sure. So when I die, I believe I'll be somewhere strong energy doesn't just leave. I'd say like from a purely physical standpoint, I'd agree with you. Like the kinetic energy, the electrical energy, all that stuff that's within your body that your body uses. I don't believe in like an essence or anything like that personally, though. What was the turning point in making you switch? The turning point in the day that I knew I was an atheist was, it was after like a year and a half of looking at the evidence, dissecting it day by day by day by day, seeing none of it convince me for different reasons, and then one day realizing that if there's anything else in my life that doesn't have evidence for it, can't be logically substantiated, can't be shown clear as day, then I would call it non-existent. And so I asked myself, why am I doing something different with God? Why am I holding God to a different standard? And I realized I didn't have a logical answer for that question. So that's when I knew I didn't believe in God anymore. What's up, Grandang? Welcome back. How do I define God? As a former Christian, as the creator of the universe, right? The guy who created the universe, who was three in one, who was the spirit and the Father and the Son. He came down as a son, all that good stuff. As a Christian, as an atheist, though, I mean, I don't define God in a personal way anymore, obviously, and so I leave it up to the people who believe in such a thing to define a God. Please tell people what atheist means, especially for the South. It's crazy. So for those who don't know, an atheist is somebody who doesn't believe in a god or god figures. That's all it means. Can we please not spam, dude? Like, can we not do that? Can we just please not? Matter of fact, yeah, I'm not in the mood. Bye bye, Sean. Have a good rest of your day. Skadoosh, skadoosh, man. Get skadoosh, dude. You want to know something fucked up, Sean? I didn't even read your message. Didn't even read it. I read like you were a real Christian, and then like I saw that it was sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Like as like for some odd reason, I don't know why y'all do it so much, but probably got to. I'm gonna do this after stream. I'm gonna put like a spam lock on my Streamlabs bot and just like so it can time people out automatically. But yeah, I don't get why y'all do that. You became atheist after half a year talking about evolution with your presbyter. I'm guessing Presbyterian something or other. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Any reason that you become an atheist is a good enough reason. Any reason that you start believing in a religion is a good enough reason, so long as it's what genuinely convinces you. Um, what makes you atheist? What discourages you from God? How can you still find enjoyment in the Bible? Uh, the lack of evidence made me an atheist, and quote unquote deterred me from God. And can I still find enjoyment in the Bible as like a story text? I think the Bible's a good story, like not a morally good story, but a good story in the way that Blood Meridian was a good story, right? Like it's got some really fucked up things in there. Tells the story of a psychopath with absolute power and the eventual like crushing out of what we can know to be intuitive goodness and the promise of reconciliation of it and like an oncoming apocalypse. In that regard, it's an epic, and I would say I like it so much. If it was just like this is all fictional, but it's a really fucked up narrative, I love the Bible. But it's like this stuff is actually true, and now you need to believe in it. That's where I start to take offense to it. How long have you been an atheist for? I've been an atheist for 10 years. 10 years. This will be year 10. So I just round up and say 10 years. I'm heading to sleep. Have a good night, y'all. You have a good rest of your night, Mag. Appreciate you being here. Take care. Take care. You became a pagan after you prayed to Cupid and got a girlfriend the next day after years of not dating. Hey, solid. Congrats. That's how you do it. When I saw Perfection in Art, Italy, Vatican Sistine. Yeah, the Sistine Chapel is beautiful. I want to go there one day. Visit little old Vatican City. That'll be pretty fun. I want to go to every single country, but that's just A, impossible because North Korea is not letting people in, and then B, maybe ill advised for some countries. Like a lot of countries get a bad rap. Like they might be going through some things, but their citizens are good people that will welcome you with open arms and or be curious about you and stuff. But I'm not putting myself in danger. I'm sorry. If like say Palestine, I would like if they weren't going through so much, Israel wasn't going through so much. If they could just get the fuck along for a bit, I would love to go to both of those countries. But they're not having the best of time right now, so unfortunate. Uh, do you know what it'd be called if I don't believe in God, but you don't work? If you don't not believe in God, so you do believe in a God, but you don't worship Him. It's just like to appreciate that I'm here, not worship a God for bringing me here, even force worship for life. Um, hmm. I guess kind of depends in that what do you believe about the God? Is it the God of the Bible? Is it the God of the any religious text in particular, or is it just like a general God that created you and that you're happy to for creating you? If so, you're a deist. Ironically, I became officially became atheist April 1st. I don't remember the day I became an atheist, but I knew it was in August back in 2015, August 2015. Can't see the emoji on Live Studio, but let's see. Sia saying? I'm not sure, but thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Heaven's made up and the stories about Jesus, well, they're very questionable. Yeah, I agree for sure. What makes you not faithful when you want to know there's also something afterlife that isn't absolute darkness? What do you think that afterlife looks like? Ooh, I'm not saying this to be sarcastic at all. I love these like fleshed out 3-part questions. They keep me engaged and I really appreciate that. What makes me not faithful? Because I don't think that faith is going to cut it for something that expects me to dedicate my life to it. Like for instance, like imagine having a wife and expecting to be loyal to her, dedicate your entire life to her, legally put down that you're married to her, like all the tax stuff and everything that comes with marriage. Like imagine doing all of that, but not even knowing if she exists. Like that would be absurd. That doesn't work for me. It's not gonna work with me for religion either. Um, would I want to know there's also something afterlife that isn't absolute darkness? I just want to know the truth. I prefer if there was some form of afterlife, like maybe I got a universe to myself. That'd be pretty chill. I could just like do whatever I want with the universe and make the whole thing a beach if I want it, and just on a highway and just morph it to my will. That'd be pretty awesome. It can, cease to exist whenever I want to. That'd be pretty awesome. But I just don't think that's the case. And then your third question was drum roll, please. Oh, what do I think the afterlife looks like? I don't believe in an afterlife. I think you just it's like lights out. It's like before you were born, basically. The reason that you have a lot of people have an issue visualizing such a thing is because the brain doesn't know how to not be the brain, right? The brain doesn't know how to visualize a lack of things. That's not how that works. I think people are reporting your live. I just got asked if this live was inappropriate. No, yeah, they do that all stream, every single stream, but that's all right. Because what's going to happen is even if TikTok takes me down, like I'll just appeal it. Somebody will look at it and see like, okay, well, it was false. There's nothing to see here. But yeah, unfortunately I attract a younger audience. When you're that young, you haven't learned emotional intelligence yet, so they think, oh, see something I don't like, report it, try to get it taken down. Let me try to morph the world to my will, like a toy. Unfortunately. Who you think will win, a gorilla or 100 men? I think 100 dudes will win that, dude. I'm sorry, like a gorilla's gonna rip some people to shreds. Let's start there, but I mean, we underestimate the sheer number of the sheer 100, right? If 100 dudes are working together, they strategize. They have a pocket of like maybe, I'd say maybe like 10, 15 people, that are like fodder to distract the gorilla while the rest of them like go for lethal blows and stuff or incapacitated. 100 dudes are winning that. Absolutely. They haven't learned intelligence in general. Yeah, solid. True, true, true. Nightmare, thank you for the follow. Is Satan real? I don't think Satan's real personally. I think Satan's also fictional. He became pagan last week 5 years ago. Hey, happy anniversary. Hell yeah. I became an atheist 4 months from now, 10 years ago. I think Five Guys could beat a gorilla. I don't think Five Guys could beat a gorilla. Maybe if it was like 1997 Mike Tyson, a member of the Chicago Police Department that works on a night shift. Who else? Uh, that one dude, that one really big buff dude that does those like weird dances where after he eats some food. Who else would be on my team? Um, Diddy just as a distraction. Like the person you're sending to get ripped to shreds while the other four guys get to work. And also a Florida man after a nice hit of ice. Nick Saban. Wait, Nick Saban? I mean, oh wait, no, I thought you meant Chris Saban, like the wrestler. I was about to say, you watch wrestling? I was about to say, I knew I liked you. Women can't. Women could, but I don't. It'll be too tragic. I don't want to think about that. If we're gonna have to envision people getting ripped to shreds, I would rather imagine it being men. Is there a way to call in? No, not on this stream. I'm live on TikTok right now, and so like there is a way to call in technically, but I'm not bringing anybody up because it's I get taken down too often for I don't know. When will atheism be taken seriously? I don't know if it ever will be, because for it to be taken seriously, there has to be an active exposal of information that shows religious claims to be false. And the people that benefit most, even if they had access to such information, they wouldn't let it get widespread. Even if it got widespread, people would just say it's fake. So no, I don't think there'll ever be a position where people won't be religious. Unfortunately, people assume you're Satanist just because you're atheist. Yeah, yeah. To be fair though, Satanism has nothing to do with worshiping an actual Satan. That's like, well, or an actual like devil. That's Luciferianism. But yeah, you're right. Uh, One can't say God isn't real because it's impossible to know if he is and he's not. Sure, you can. Of course, you could. I have decent enough reason to think that he's not real. The human intentions of an omnigod are suspicious. The logical issues of omnipotence are, illogical. The set theories, disapproval of the ability to be all knowing, that's how that works. Something being claimed to be outside of reality, but also inside it because it's omnipresent. It's illogical. That's a contradiction. But even beside that point, just because like there's something that's ultimately unprovable doesn't mean you can't make some sort of a belief claim about it. I think that would be a little absurd. Christianity would lead to atheism or other beliefs, considering if Christians use their heads. Yeah, if imagine if some people like read the Bible and every single thing that it claims with a completely objective mind, before, like after their childhood was over, I'd say Christianity would die off in like 2 generations. If you eat 10 cheeseburgers, will you be fat? Depends on the cheeseburgers, I guess. Like if you're otherwise, at a healthy weight and just eat 10 cheeseburgers like in one sitting, I mean, you'd be bloated, but you probably gain a pound or two, but you wouldn't be like you wouldn't be obese off of just 10 cheeseburgers, especially if they're like sliders, like White Castle sliders. Speaking of which, I gotta get some White Castle soon. I've been missing White Castle. Surprised you're still awake. Me too, man. I mean, I took a nap after my stream earlier, so yeah, we're chilling. We're chilling. What if you eat 16 pounds of pasta? Will you be overweight? I mean, you'd be bloated. That would be disgusting. What's your epistemology? Mine's phenomenal conservatism. Mine is too, for sure. At least as far as it goes to information claims, I'm a phenomenal conservatist. I think it's just the most it wraps things up in a bow nicely. Um, yeah, but it depends on like philosophical positions. Like morally speaking, I'm a kind of subjectivist, hearing out realism a little bit, but not quite. You know, there's a couple issues with it, a couple flaws with it, but yeah, ultimately I am a phenomenal conservatist for sure. Why'd you leave? Just didn't see any evidence for God to be convincing. Have you ever taken Sykes? I'm gonna pause on TikTok before I answer you because they take you down for talking about substances. So sorry to put y'all in the closet real quick, but I'm gonna talk about something really quickly. Pause and boom. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've taken psychedelics before. I've taken LSD, I've taken um psilocybin mushrooms, psilocybin truffles, peyote, DMT, salvia, 2CB, and 2CE. Um, so yeah, I've done all that. Didn't find God at the end of it, but yeah, I've taken a lot of drugs. I think I've taken about when I was in Ohio, man. I was on Alpha Bay back when that was a thing. I ordered a lot of things, so I've taken a lot of different substances over the course of my life for sure. All right, let's resume over on here. Boom, there we go. There we go. God answers prayer. If that were the case, then everybody would get their prayers answered who believed in God. I think he had to shit. No, I wanted to answer somebody's question without getting taken down on YouTube for reasons. I got my religion mocked, and when I mocked them back, they got super mad. Like, don't mock mine. Exactly. If we just learn how to take people's religious claims and then like accept proper criticisms of it, and also dole out proper criticism and not get butthurt about it, I think we'd be a lot better off. God is still waiting for you with open arms. If that were the case, then he knows where to find me. Long ass list of drugs. The actual list is a lot longer. If I were to talk about like the dissociatives, the stimulants, the depressants, I'd be here for. I forget a lot of them too. How does the universe come into existence then? I personally think the universe itself has always existed in some reason, for in some way, but um, past the point of the Big Bang, I personally hypothesize a cyclical model of the universe, but that's unprovable, so it's impossible to know. You might have had problems back then. It wasn't so much problems. Like a lot of the things I've tried, I've only tried either like once or twice, or the things that I still use to this day, or just or would use to this day, are like things that I either rarely use or things that are I have a control over, right? Like alcohol, for instance. I'm not a problem drinker. I'm at like maybe one or two drinks a week. Except for this one substance I can't mention, but the green stuff, yeah, I'm pretty heavy handed on that one, honestly. But yeah, a lot of the things I've tried were just like, just trying to see what they felt like, figure things out. You're just rambling. Yeah, of course, that's how the stream is. Who made the monkeys or whatever? I would say it's a who. I'd say it's like how did they, what caused them? I would say abiogenesis and evolution. What are you gay? Who says I'm gay? Why basing your content in this live just to state the fact that you are religious and then not to have a discussion about religion? That's why I've that's why I'm doing this. I want to have a discussion about religion, and if you are uninterested in the discussion about religion, I completely totally understand it. That's not every type of content is for every person. I completely totally get it, but just you're on the shorts algorithm. Scroll away, right? Do you ever get tired of people asking you the same questions over and over again? Kind of, but not really. I'm just glad for people to be here. I'm more so glad that people are here rather than like exhausted over answering the same questions. That's why like every time I see like what made you an atheist, how are you an atheist, I just like ignore it until I feel like answering it again 5 minutes later. I wouldn't say very, 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 very handy. I mean, like I'm saying, it's not that heavy. Like it's not the heaviest of heaviest hands. Uh, I'll personally say it's more irresponsible to deny God than accept Him. I mean, God's the positive claim, though, right? Nobody's born knowing of a God figure, and so, religiously speaking, I'm the default. A lack of belief in a God. That's all it is. And so, if you want to say, oh, now that you've learned about this one particular God that so happened to be spread to the land you live in, because of colonizers and missionaries, then now it's irresponsible to deny it. I'm just not seeing it personally. It's not the heaviest of heavy-handed, dude. Come on, I'm not like Wiz Khalifa, right? Like that's like one or two drinks, you know, like, I don't know. You were gifted my book at Christmas. I haven't wrote a book yet. Yet. You can eat 12 cheeseburgers in one sitting with a small Dr. Pepper. W, right? Based. You're so chill. That's because of certain reasons. So your granddad who fought the Nazis was weak because he believed in God. That's not what like who said that? Maybe might be speaking to somebody else. I mean, let me not speak on it. Speaking of, what if every single belief system was real? Oh man, that would be crazy. Like, it's just like it depends on how real they are. Like, is every God individually real, and then like the contradictory claims are all true, but then like logic ultimately and in the reality they inhabit doesn't matter, and so contradictions can be true. That would be pretty crazy. If that were the case, I don't know. I'd probably just like I'd still be an atheist, obviously, because of conviction. But if I had to choose between them, if I get the afterlife that they purport, I would choose the one that says I get my universe to myself and can do whatever I want to. Uh, Fought for the wrong side. I'm not fighting. I'm having a discussion. Where the fuck are the questions he's reading on TikTok? I'm reading both TikTok and YouTube questions. I got both chats on my screen, and I finally figured out how to put them both on the same screen and just look between them. If I had a lazy eye, I'd be able to literally read them both at the same time. You think the video is pre-recorded? I'm sorry you think that way. I think you should study every religion that's ever existed to know if one of them is true. No, I don't think that I should do that. I think that would be a waste of time. Like, I think it would behoove somebody better to figure out why people would come up with their religious claims and their religious beliefs and traditions. And then once you figure that out, you wouldn't need to look into the claims themselves to know if they're true or not. Uh, Jesus says he can give us living water. Why would I want my water to be alive? Imagine me drinking water and it's like, my water's like, ah! Like that would be disturbing. I don't want living water. Keep up your content, love it. You're a former born again Christian, now Sikh. Ooh, I love Sikhs, dude. Sikhs are one of those religions of people where I haven't met one that I haven't liked yet. Like Sikhs, Buddhists, and Satanists. Well, not that's like a couple annoying ones, but yeah, Sikhs and Buddhists at least for sure. Really, really nice religion. That's what positive monotheism looks like. Y'all should look after the Sikhs if you want to know how to believe in one God and not be a tool about it. But yeah, love to see you. Look into the life of Prophet. Oh, I'm gonna add that to my spellings real quick. Mohammad. Yeah, I'm not going to. I've read the Quran, and I'm not going to discuss why I'm not a Muslim after reading the Quran. Apparently, it's not something you can speak about on TikTok if you have literally anything not positive to say about it whatsoever without getting taken down. So I am not going to talk about it. Like nothing to do with Islam, nothing to do with the Quran, nothing to do with Muhammad. Those days are behind me. Let me add that to my keyword filter. Skadoosh. There we go. There we are. Living water sounds like some shit from Warhammer. Yeah, right. Do you think spirits exist? If so, you believe ghosts since there's no afterlife to you? No, I don't believe in spirits or like ghosts or I don't believe in anything supernatural, divine, religious, um, paranormal, magical, anything like that personally. It woke up your cat. Oh, I'm sorry. Ask host anything, just don't expect a response. I'm sorry, Trent on TikTok, but I'm also streaming on YouTube, and there are 104 people watching on YouTube. So, there we go. What's a spirit? It's like an essence, the essence of a person, basically. It's, like this separate from their body. Just to let you know, next to your live stream is a girl sitting with mic in her mouth making stupid different sounds, and 1,000 people are watching her. Don't know what kind of next level comments missing. Oh man, YouTube Shorts is a crazy place to be. Yeah, I'm so glad they started the Shorts feed or the Shorts live feed. It's really hilarious. Um, but yeah, enjoy the ASMR, I guess. Uh, the Quran says death to apostates. Indeed, it does. Indeed, it does. That's not why I don't talk about it in Guy Stuck in 2018. But when I'll be proud to discuss Islam if I was like just a YouTube stream. But I'm also live on TikTok, and so apparently when you discuss when you discuss Islam and you have anything other than positive things to say about it, then you get taken down for a week, and because they consider it hate speech. If you say something as simple like hypothetically, obviously the Quran has no contradictions, right? Hint, hint, wink, wink. But hypothetically, if you were to say that it did, like you get taken down for a week. So no, I don't discuss it on TikTok anymore because I'm just tired of getting suspended. Do I poop? I do poop. Yeah, I do indeed poop. Yes, that's I poop. What the hell kind of question? What type of toilet paper do you use? I use Scott. I use like the Scott 1000 roll. Yeah, that's my jam right there. That's the good stuff. Pretty cheap, but gets the job done. If you were presented with evidence of a deity, would you be convinced? Because earlier you said if every belief was true, you'd still be an atheist out of conviction, and I don't see how that works. I mean, you asked if everything were true earlier, like if every God were true. Like imagine that. You didn't say what if there were evidence of every God being true, right? That's why I would still be an atheist. It's like, could every single religious claim be true in some regard? Sure, for all for all we know. But if logic starts to break down, reality starts to break down outside of the universe that we live in, sure. But if there's no evidence for it, I'm still going to be an atheist because, like, why would I believe in such a thing? So yeah. So why do you deny Jesus? I don't believe that Jesus rose from the dead. That's all there is to it. I don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God or rose from the dead because I don't believe that God exists. I need to make an offer to Apollo. I always make an offer on my anniversary of being pagan. Which one is Apollo again? The god of I keep forgetting. So just hypocritically like religion. Oh, you must be talking to somebody else. Oh yeah, you are talking to somebody else. Uh do I wipe or let it crust? What do you think, man? What do you think? Cake, thank you for subscribing. Also, Vishnan, thank you for subscribing as well. I appreciate it. Thank y'all, thank y'all. Good to see y'all in here. All right, Max, that's enough, dude. That's enough. That's enough brain rot for today. Why do you feel guilty for hating God? You don't want to serve Him, but you get anxiety attacks when you don't attend the religious meetings. Because of indoctrination. That's why you feel guilty. You were most likely raised to. I think I believe you were the Jehovah's Witness earlier, right? If I got the right person, then with that comes this belief that God's perfect, and it's unacceptable to think badly of Him, think imperfectly of Him, and so when you're raised with that from birth, that's all you're gonna know, or as far back as you can remember, that's all you're gonna know. So, yeah, that's why you feel guilty. But there's nothing to be guilty for, I can promise you. Read the Bible. I've read the Bible twice. A protector of young boys. Got you, got you, got you, got you. What if you got shot Rexplode style? I don't even. Oh, the dude from Invincible. I don't know, man. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Fellow Christians don't tell this guy he's gonna go to hell. He's just gonna get angry. I think if even if I did get angry, I don't know if anger is like what I typically express to people saying that, but even if I did, I think that somebody coming in to tell me that I'm going to burn for all of eternity you know, and them taking some sort of sick glee in it. I think anger is the appropriate response for that. And just because it's something that you happen to believe isn't gonna change that. That's the appropriate response for it. I'm gonna pray for you. Matthew chapter 6, verse 5 says not to do what you just did, but by all means, go for it. That's why atheism can't be took seriously enough. Far too many jokes, not enough answers. Am I allowed to? I'm not allowed to make jokes. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just talk in it real quick. Yeah, let me just. Hello, how are you doing? Lack of evidence. Uncaused causer is untenable position. Like, come on, man. I'm a human being. Who created the world? I don't think it was a who. I think the Earth was formed via natural processes like accretion disks and gravitational pull. I left Christianity because it hurt too much after he took them away from me. Aww. Whoever it is, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What are your thoughts on black metal and anti-Christianism? I like it. On black metal as a genre, it's just personally not for me. I'm more into like alternative pop. There's some metal I like. I don't know if you would count liturgy. Like liturgy's not black metal, but they're what are they like? Prog metal? No, I don't even know if they're prog. Some kind of metal. I like liturgy. I don't even know if you would count Ghost as metal. But yeah, it's not for me. Anti-Christianism, like with the counterculture of anti-religion, cool beans. I'm big fan, big fan. Jesus is your N-word. Good for you, hell yeah. Why do you use the word create when talking about the universe of the earth? Isn't that misleading? Exactly. It's just a front-loaded presupposition. See here. Oh no, you're disgusting. That's disgusting. We're not gonna sit here and tell some like try to justify somebody losing somebody close to them. That's disgusting. And you're also not a very smart person. So have a good rest of your night. Jesus would share his weed as it would be in the bread he ate. Right. Uh, this guy ain't going to hell. He's going to purgatory. I don't think I'm going to either. Sorry, I had to get a drink of water. What do you think of Calvinism? I admire their consistency. I admire them saying like, "This is just a brute fact of reality," because God's just a brute fact of who He is. Like, okay, fair enough, right? But personally, as far as discussions go, I don't talk to Calvinists because if your entire position is one of everything's predetermined, no free will, everything just is what it is, then there's no room for intellectual discussion, or at the very least, intellectually honest discussion, because there's no way to get you off of believing that. It's the same reason I don't talk to uh fundamentalist Muslims, because they definitionally have to believe that the Quran is perfect and without contradiction, free from error, all that good stuff. Obviously, it is TikTok, hint, hint, wink, wink. But yeah, yeah. So that's the same reason I don't talk to them. You're a former Muslim, raised religiously, but you turn agnostic. What's wondering what makes you think a creator doesn't exist when something must have created us? We're here, aren't we? I'd say like something past our parents. If you're talking about as far as a person, if you're talking about what started humanity, we evolved. If you're talking about what started life as we know it, abiogenesis. If you're talking about what formed our planet, accretion disks and gravity. If you're talking about what formed our stars, hydrogen fusion. If you're talking about what formed our universe, there's no way to know, but there are completely natural, not divine explanations for the universe, like cyclical hypotheses, quantum fluctuations, and all of them have just as much explanatory power. And so the more we learn, the more viable of options they become. So just having the idea that something must have caused us to exist to jump to some sort of God figure is like the God of the gaps fallacy. Uh oh wait, no. Live studio. Oh shoot. How long has this been up here? Oh, that's why. Boom. Oh wait, no. Oh, skadoosh. There we go. Okay, cool. We're back live on TikTok. Oh, we're been live, but gotta do the puzzle piece to not get taken down. Why are you engaged farming and pretending you'll respond? It's not engagement farming, so I want you to be a little bit less narcissistic for a second and look at my viewer count. There's 107 people in here. 107 people. For the average question, I try to speak for, I don't know, at least 10 seconds, right? I try to be intentional with my words, flesh out my responses. And so if I want to get that many people watching, there's going to be a fair amount of questions. And so if there's going to be a fair amount of questions, and I need a fair amount of time to answer each one, I'm not going to get to every single last one. And I apologize if I haven't, sorry for missing you, but to think that I'm just intentionally ignoring you or quote unquote engagement farming just because I'm not answering your question just shows you to be like a self-centered narcissist. Right now I worship Apollo and Cupid. I used to worship Pluto. Uh, Pluto. I can't remember the Hellenistic gods to save my life. Can't remember them. Anyway, all right, let's get you on out of here. Yeah, Kirzadon, this just isn't the stream for you. That's completely fine. It's all right, But I'm gonna give you the last bit of your attention for tonight. Mute skadoosh. Get you one out of here. Who else doesn't want to be here? Let's maybe clean up the chat a little bit. Why not? Let's clean it up. Let's get him on out of here. Who doesn't want to be here? Have you tried praying to God and ask him to give you a sign if he is real? Yes, I have. I've even done so on stream before just to humor people, and here we are. God of death. Got you. Everyone should be a narcissist if nothing else matters. I'm not seeing that. This seems like a non sequitur. Right? It's like, firstly, I'm not a nihilist. I'm an existentialist. But even beside that point, it's like, even if you were a complete nihilist and just like believe in nothing mattering and that's just the end all be all, then I'm not seeing how narcissistic traits should be the logical conclusion of it. If you want to say like everything outside of outside of nihilism can only be used as a justification for saying that people shouldn't be a narcissist, and I mean cool, but that's just like a post hoc co-opting of like less bleak outlooks just to reach your conclusion. I think that's kind of dishonest. You're an atheist? Good to see you. What's up, DM Tech? I'm gonna end on TikTok actually. I'm gonna end on TikTok. I want to talk a little bit more freely for a bit, and also like there's only 3 people over there, so I think it's run its course. But SeamKids.com was nice to meet you. Trent, you were a person that exists, so yep, I'll see y'all later on the TikTok. Appreciate everything, but yeah, take care. Over there, and boom, there it is. Good stuff. All right, go ahead and close that out. And there he is. Wouldn't assertism or hedonism be the natural response? I mean, not necessarily. I'm not like having an outlook on life about the objective purpose of things shouldn't lead you to some sort of like just saying like think about it for a second. Okay, you don't believe that a god exists, right? Okay, sure. Why does that mean you should be a hedonist? Why does that mean you should be narcissistic? I'll take it one step further. Why does that mean you shouldn't necessarily be a nihilist or an absurdist or an existentialist, right? That's kind of the whole point of philosophical outlooks. It's like it's not supposed to be one type of way just because of another fact or idea. Like the literal whole point of these philosophical claims. Answer some questions, please. I'm answering plenty of questions. If I'm not answering yours, I'm sorry, but 107 people in here. I'm not about to just drop everyone else and let me just drop everyone else and pay attention to fucking Sirong Plaka out of the 100 people here just because they want me to. It's like, no, it's not not how that's gonna happen. Can you tell us your age and if you grew up in a strict religious Christian, and if you did, how's your family and society look at you? I'm 29 years old. I grew up. I did grow up in a strict, not wouldn't say strict necessarily, but like I grew up in a religious household. How did my family and society look at me? Like societies, I mean, they just, it's not out there wearing "I'm an atheist" T-shirts everywhere, right? But my friends, they saw me as a project, so it dropped a lot of my friends at the time. Mom didn't take it too well. My dad, I don't think he ever found out, or if he did, I wouldn't know. Never will be able to know because he's dead now. Um, Brother didn't care, sister didn't care. So yeah. Can I do a face reveal after I reach I don't know, like a certain point with my platforms and stuff? I'll show my face because I feel like that's because like once I get to a point where I like really want to do the content I want to do, like traveling around the world or at least around the country to investigate different religious sects and claims and things like that, then obviously people seeing my face would be a natural part of that. But just showing my face, exposing myself to people that are sending me death threats just for the 600 subscribers I have now. It's just in the next to nothing I make doing this. The juice just ain't worth the squeeze, personally. You're Catholic and considering leaving your faith. What you want to do is just read the Bible, obviously. See if the claims make sense to you. Look at the evidence for the claims made by the Bible, and if it convinces you, then you can at least say you critically thought about it and you have justification for believing in it. But what I wouldn't suggest you do is just to look at like Cliff Nectal videos or whatever and just copy paste his arguments. Like, oh, they convinced me, so there I go. Like, think for yourself on that one. I mean, at the kindest way possible. He already did a face reveal. I promise you don't want to see it. He's for real chopped. I'm not chopped. All right. I'm fine shit actually. It's still the person's choice in this world. The Bible is everywhere. You gotta still go there anyway because you don't understand the concept that it's without God. I'm not sure what. Finally, someone agrees on the same thing as me. Thank you for posting this live. No, thank you for being here, Ness. Good to see you. Where do you think your dad went? I think my dad ceased to exist. I think everything that was my dad is now in an urn as some ashes. All of his memories and thoughts and everything like that, except for his prosthetic leg. That I don't know what they did with that. I think did they throw it out? Maybe did they? What do they do with prosthetic legs? Did they just like throw those out? Right? Like surely they just throw them out, right? Like they're expensive as fuck. Like can we donate them or? I don't know. I hope it got donated. That would be pretty cool. Somebody could use it, but no, yeah, I think he's just GG no read. The Shroud of Turin's a bad piece of evidence. I'm a Christian myself. Yeah, the Shroud of Turin has been debunked 5 ways to Sunday. Being born is not your choice or not a coincidence, but God gave you a purpose, not the world itself. All right, let's just break this down piece by piece. Being born is not your choice. I agree, or not a coincidence. I disagree. I'm not seeing how me being born as I am is so important that it, requires it to not be a coincidence. God gave you a purpose. Prove it, not the world itself. I agree that the world didn't give me a purpose because I don't believe in objective purpose. What's up, Axel? How you doing today? What do you think about the image of the Shroud of Turin? Debunked so many times, it's not even funny. You gain a gray hair every time somebody mentions the Shroud. Yeah, with the information about it being just like so apparent, like so available. Like it's kind of odd that people would choose to talk to me about it instead of just like googling it. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Stuck in 2018. Well, I'm sure you love your mother just as I do, but it's sad to see them hurt since they can't accept our faith. Tell your mother you love no matter what made you step out of Christianity. I answer that one quite often, so I'll skip the I'll say lack of evidence what made me step away from Christianity. No, I'm no contact with my mom for different, for that's beside the, I'm not getting into that too much, but no, I'm not gonna tell her I love her because it's, I don't like her too much. Um, she has NPD, so do with that what you will. They donate them. Okay, got you. Hope somebody who's like the person who's using his leg out there is, hope they're having fun with it. Does that bother you that you don't matter? I mean, I think I matter. does it bother me that there's no sort of objective standard to determine whether or not I do? Then I mean, no, not even in the slightest. But I think the fact that I have the ability to think and assign purpose to myself or assign value to myself is good enough. Um, see here, I don't think religious people have really thought about it through, even if they had evidence for an afterlife that doesn't actually prove a God that would prove the afterlife. Yeah, true, fair enough. Can't do this properly when I get 180 characters at a time, but you can say what you want for how long you want. Not fair, but could definitely point out some shortcomings in a real conversation. I mean, that's cool, sure. Just try your best. You'll be all right. 180 characters at a time, sure. If you want, you can join my Discord only if you're over the age of 18. Only if you're over the age of 18. If you are not over the age of 18, I will ban you and I will probably ban you for life, honestly, because you got to click a little button where you have to agree to the rules to even access the rest of the thing. So it's like if you see those 10 rules and you can't even read them, then I mean, you've earned it at that point. But you can join my Discord if you want. Go to my debate channel, and yeah, I'll go ahead and cook you. Nothing wrong with that. You're a former atheist, now Catholic, listening to NDL experiences, and my grandmother dying and describing Jesus being next to me in a room. Any thoughts? Um, for me, it's like, was your grandmother already familiar with Jesus before she died? Well, not before she. I don't know if she's dead or not. Hope she isn't. But if she was already familiar, then like, for me, it makes a lot more sense that it's something that the brain does and is something that the brain hallucinates or images um, in order to comfort itself during death. And somebody who's done DMT before, and knowing that we have DMT in our brains, makes perfect sense to me. And it's also kind of backed up by the fact that people claim to see all sorts of things that are just comforting to them when they get close to death. Speaking about the religious claims, though, I mean, people that so happen to be from Europe, so happen to be from America, so happen to be from Africa or Oceania, they all report seeing like Jesus or God or angels or heaven or hell or something. But then the people who so happen to be from like North Africa, the people that so happen to be from West Asia or like Bangladesh or Central Asia or something, they so happen to see like Allah or Muhammad or Gabriel or something like that. But then ask the people of India, especially like the northern and eastern parts. Is it eastern, like northern, western? The Hindu population of India is what I'm getting at. And they also happen to see Krishna. They also happen to see Vishnu and Brahma, right? So for me, it makes a lot more sense that the brain takes in this information, already has these images in its mind and then like hallucinates things based off of the information it has available rather than that the things that they see are actually indicative of something that's true. Ex-Muslim here, welcome in, welcome in. Tell people I'm Muslim when I'm trying to date Muslim girls. That's a take right there. With my middle name, I probably could get away with saying I'm a Muslim. Um, Fun fact: I used to work at this. I'm not gonna say where it is or the company, but it's obvious. It's a super duper outlandishly popular e-commerce platform. That should be a dead giveaway what it is. And I worked at one of their centers, and there was this Muslim woman there. And when I say gorgeous, I'm talking drop dead. She had her, like her niqab on, um, you know, drop dead gorgeous. And she was trying to like we were talking a little bit, but she expected me to be Muslim. That's just like, oh no, I fumbled so bad. I was like, oh no, I don't personally believe in anything like that. Sorry, but yeah, I fumbled the hell out of that. I probably should have just. Oh, is lying for it probably the most ethical thing to do? No. Would I have, with hindsight, probably still not, but I'm gonna feel bad about it. I think that's fair. But no, she was drop dead. She was from like I think she said she was like her family at least because there's a lot of Muslims in the area I live in. It's a pretty has a high density of them, and her family like is not descended from, but originally came from Kuwait. Really gorgeous woman. Even if there's no God, we can never know if we're making choices or our brain is just responding to the chemicals and environmental factors it's exposed to. Exactly. Right. And it's like, for me, I just go with what's more likely, um, what we can account for or what we can't account for. Why'd you leave Islam? I've never. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. If you can get any amount of. Why are you talking about cheeseburgers so much? If you could get any amount of cheeseburgers and drinks, what or how many would you get? Depends on the type of cheeseburger they are. Like right now, with my level of hunger, I could eat maybe either two Five Guys cheeseburgers or like seven White Castle cheeseburgers right now, and I'd get a medium Sprite on the side. Yeah, I only drink soda when I get fast food. I'm not super huge on soda. Do I believe in evolution? I acknowledge that evolution happens. Yeah. Never said it was anything supernatural. Just never heard it before. First time ever. Oh, you might be talking to somebody else, or I don't know. Might be. I might not be tracking the conversation. I apologize. Yeah, I got you, cops, man. I see you. The more I looked for God, the more disconnected from love I became. Oh yeah, I get that a lot. I'm gonna run downstairs and grab a bunch of cookies. I'll be back soon. Enjoy your cookies. Um, Macro or micro evolution? No, both. Both. Yeah, macro is firstly, these, like, speaking in evolutionary biology, these are irrelevant terms. Right? Like macro evolution is just the evolution of a species, or um like a subspecies or a species over a long period of time, or through maybe multiple species, like from Homo habilis or Homo erectus to Homo sapien. So over those couple 100,000 years. But speaking evolutionarily, like there's no difference between them. Like if you think that we have the ability to evolve traits to best fit our surrounding, or to evolve traits due to endogenous retroviruses, or evolve traits based on like societal stresses or anything like that, or to because of a lack of predators or things like that, then it should track that we're going to continue to do so, and it's not just going to randomly stop, and that it never randomly started, right? Or so yeah, it's just like I don't really subscribe to the whole like macro or micro. It's just like it's some weird kind of pseudoscience that apologists want to claim to not outright be called an evolution denier, but also deny evolution and give more credence to the biblical creation account. I think that's absurd. Opinion on Popeyes? It's fantastic. I love Popeyes. Whenever I can get it, I'll try to get it. Um, yeah, I love their chicken. Their chicken is a little. If Popeyes made their chicken with like just the way that they make it, but they added the I don't know if it's like I hear from KFC like it's no longer 13 herbs and spices. It's just, or 11 herbs and spices. It's just like salt and pepper and MSG now. But even if they added the amount of salt and pepper and MSG that KFC uses, like their chicken would be unfucking beatable. It's like the one issue. Like Popeye's chicken, like the exterior, like the skin of it, kind of just tastes like the grease. It's got a nice texture and it's cooked perfectly every single time, but it's like, man, it's just want a little bit more flavor, dude. Just a little bit more. But their chicken sandwiches are fantastic, especially when you get a nice big patty instead. Well, not patty, but a nice big yeah, technically patty instead of just like those little dinky ones that don't take up the entire bun. How tall would you be in cheeseburgers measurements? Like a rat is two cheeseburgers. I don't like, how tall is a cheeseburger though? Like how many inches tall is a cheeseburger? Now I'll be able to answer if I get like a point of measurement though. Evolution is real. Time is one thing. We live in the illusion of linear time, and everything is everywhere all at once. Yeah, I would agree. I think that time is tenseless, and that the passage of events is just like illusory, based on the fact that we are expanding, and light's moving, and matter is doing this thing. You always add Creole seasoning to mine. That is so Louisiana. W though, I get it. It's just a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper. What made you become an atheist? I looked for evidence of Christianity being true back when I believed it, and found none of it convincing, not even a little bit of it. Okay, follow my train of thought. Do you think that evolution gives us the best chance of reproduction? Wait a minute, like, do we evolve? Like, I just want to make sure we're on the same page before I answer. Are you saying, like, does our ability to evolve make sure that we have the best ability to ensure the survival of our offspring? Is that what you mean? Because if so, yeah. Um, and that's at the very least alluded to by the fact that prey species like lobsters and sea turtles lay lots of eggs at once so that they can best ensure their survival. Uh, what makes people become atheists? Usually not religion, and what makes people become atheists usually it's religion and the religious people pushing it. For me, it wasn't either of those. Oh, kind of the religion ish a little. Not the exhaustion with the practices or anything, but just I just didn't see any evidence for it. What are your thoughts on burger? What is it like? What are my thoughts on burger? The fuck, like, what are my thoughts on burger? Like, I like burgers. Yeah, they're good. They're not my favorite food, but I mean, yeah, there's it's flawless food. Nothing special about them, but yeah, they're great. It's not about faith; it's about evidence. Of course, Dina would say that shit. What's up, Dina? How you doing? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your strife? How's all that good stuff? Ask you anything? Okay, when did I be? I'm sorry, that's funny. Okay, that's actually. I know you're maybe trying to be antagonistic, truth time, but I'm sorry, that's hilarious. When did I become a? I'm sorry, that's kind of funny. I got no choice but to laugh at that one. That got me. What flavor of Christianity did you practice? I was Baptist for 16 years and then apostolic for 2. I still can't stop thinking about that, dude. Ask you anything. Okay, when did you peak? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. That's okay. I gotta stop thinking about it. It's just the way he said it was just I don't know. Anyway, I was Baptist for 16 years, apostolic for 2 years. You have a really nice voice. I appreciate that. Sam says, "Thank you." It's a long story behind why my voice sounds like this. To be fair though, it's only going to get worse and more raspy the older I get. Jesus was decently a real person. I'll grant his existence, even though the evidence for him is like, yeah, it's just like not that great. But even if I were to grant it, it's still no reason to think he was the son of God. You know. Good for you, buddy. Glad you got the attention you needed. Somebody, what's kind of funny about that? What like really dumbfounds me a little bit about it. Like they'll accuse me of wanting attention with this stream, right? Like obviously I do, right? I'm trying to have a conversation. A conversation requires two people at least, um, and the attention of the other party, right? Like duh. But then they'll do that by way of trying to get my attention by leaving a comment. You know, it's like, oh, you feel like you have something to say to me, and so you have to get my attention in order to say the thing you want to say and convey the idea you want to convey. Like, who would have thunk it? It's kind of weird. Uh, there is a Goss. Is there a Goss? Maple, Ontario roleplay. Is there a Goss? If so, I need to see the Goss. Okay, gotta go. Hey, Unchained Skeptic, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. As long as you're a good person, it's all good. Take care, buddy. I'm proud that you're able to speak about it casually. Appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here. How about historical evidence? I mean, it's for the resurrection or for Jesus existing? Especially after having my two daughters, where I changed a lot. No way we came from a chemical reaction. I mean, if you want to believe that, if you want to just say like, oh, I love these two so much that I have trouble believing that they came from something that doesn't feel so subjective and so otherwise uncaring. I mean, that's your prerogative, sure, but I'm really not trying to be mean here, and I'm gonna try to be as intentional with my words as possible. But um, your love for the people in your life doesn't prove that the subjective importance that you feel for them requires something greater to create them. You know, just it's just not how that works. Like, I think if chemicals and elements and materials are ultimately responsible for all of our emotions, all of like our bodies, our ability to do our things and have our whatevers, then that doesn't make the feeling any less real. But then trying to just arbitrarily claim, oh, it's something higher than that just because it makes me feel so good, or this love feels so real and it feels so good, and I just have trouble believing it's something as uncaring as raw materials when you break it down enough. It just doesn't track for me. Are you not live on TikTok? I just ended on TikTok. I was live on there for a bit, but yeah, got on off of there. You literally started the stream for attention. We left a comment. We're not the same. Both of these are trying to get attention from another party to convey an idea, right? For me, it's going to be starting a stream to get the attention of the people scrolling through the shorts live feed in order to have a conversation about religion. For you, it's going to be trying to come in and bitch and whine and groan and complain and bitch and whine and groan and complain because somebody religiously disagrees with you. But I'm gonna do you one better. Since you know, just to show you clear as day, like who's the real narcissist here, like you should have no issue being timed out for the rest of the stream then. Because it's narcissistic to apparently want attention from somebody that you're trying to convey an idea to, right? So since you're not a narcissist, apparently, I'm gonna put you in timeout for the rest of the stream, and then hopefully we'll see how you feel about it. And if you don't feel any way about it and just scroll away, then I mean you may be onto something. But if you like feel a little butthurt about it, then you're just projecting. Anyway, skadoosh, skadoosh. Everybody say goodnight to Jason. Every claim that religious people make, they think is evidence, but the reality is every claim they make needs evidence for it, since they provide none from the beginning and just continue making claims. Yeah, exactly. Personally, I struggle with the concept of hell. What do you think about it? For me, I just think about it from as grand of a scale as possible. I try to step back as far as possible as I can from it, right? It's like, think less about the idea of you going there, visualizing yourself in there, and then think about, like, why would a god create hell? Why would a being who has the ability to create our entire reality and everything we know down to the most minute of possible details? He's that knowing, he's that powerful, he's that perfect, if you believe that God's perfect, but he's going to create a realm of suffering for you to go to just because you don't believe he exists, even though he chooses to hide from you or chooses not to give you convincing evidence because he prefers your faith. Like, just speaking logically, emotions completely out of it. Just speaking logically, for me personally, that makes no sense whatsoever, and that's how I got over. That's how I got over the hell doctrine. Uh, yeah, have a good rest of your night, Cake. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for the burger discussion. This question is important, man. What's your favorite color? My two favorite colors are orange and gray. It's a tie between the two. I can't pick one over the other, and I think they look really good together too. That's why if you go to anywhere that I have a banner up, like a not just a profile picture, but a banner. I think it's in my profile picture too. You can't really see the gray in the top part of the picture, but especially my banner, like the sky in it is orange and gray. That's what because I rendered that using AI, obviously, but yeah, I got an orange and gray sky because those are my two favorite colors. Have ever heard of Gnosticism? Isn't that like the one that claims that the Old Testament and New Testament gods are different or something like that? I might be getting that wrong, but I think it was just in passing. Gray isn't a real favorite color. It is for me. So fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. Do you actually read chat? I'm literally reading chat right now. if I skipped your question or didn't get your question or your question got, well, I can't do anything if your question got filtered because that's not me filtering it. But um, if I missed it, sorry. A lot of questions are repeats. A lot of people are talking amongst themselves, and also a lot of questions. They're just ones I was not gonna answer, right? Like hypothetically, if somebody were to say I farted too, bro, like I'm not gonna say anything to that, right? Like there's nothing to say to that. Hypothetically, of course. Um, or if somebody were to say I just farted really loud, like I'm not gonna answer that, you know. So yeah, sorry if I missed you, but yeah, I am reading chat, and there just happens to be a fair number of people here. Did you catch my question about enlightenment? Is that something you also don't believe in? I would add, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Enlightenment. I mean, what do we mean by enlightenment? Like just like the Buddhistic um idea of enlightenment, or like nirvana, or it's like reaching some sort of higher, wouldn't say plane of existence, but like some higher level of zen or whatever. In that regard, and just like I believe in peace, like you can be at peace, but any sort of supernatural enlightenment, I don't believe in personally. Depression sucks. Depression does suck, man. Depression sucks like a motherfucker. For an interactive God of the Bible, he sure is awfully silent if he exists. Exactly. It's just like it makes no sense to me that this God's all powerful, so he can do literally whatever he want, no matter what. But you gotta have faith that he exists. He's not gonna show you that he exists. Not gonna give any convincing evidence. Just have faith in it, So that's also a reason, like the silence of God is another reason why I kind of laugh at people that claim that God's outside of space, outside of time, and outside of everything. So didn't he come down here and like enter space and enter time to, quite literally talk to multiple people throughout the Bible, and actually came down as a person and got crucified and in that good stuff? Like like that's contradictory to me. When did I be? No, Joey, stop it. Can I reread the Bible? No, I've read it twice. I think twice is good enough. Uh, what's the turning point in your decision to cease belief in Christianity? For me, the day I knew I was an atheist was the day that I realized that I was holding God to a different standard existentially or evidentially than I hold everything else in my life. So like with everything else that I claim exists, it's either that isn't a concept, I should say. And the God, when I used to believe in God, I obviously thought he was more than just a concept, right? But something that exists that's not just conceptual, I'm like, okay, it's got to have evidence for its existence in some way, or some sort of logical substantiation for its existence, like say aliens or galaxies that we can't see or whatever. um but for God, after I was looking through all the evidence, I found none of that. And so for me, the turning point was seeing that, like, okay, I'm holding God to an unfair standard. Everything else in my life doesn't answer back, no evidence of its existence. I call it non-existent. So why am I doing something different for God? And so that's why that's the day I left Christianity. That's the day I knew I was an atheist. Aboriginal Australian here. We believe in many gods, and I do have some questions, but not sure exactly what exactly to ask. Well, welcome in. Good to see you. Got an abo in the chat. I don't know. It's not offensive, right? It's just a shorten of the term, but heard some people use it offensively. But yeah, good to see you. What was American Christianity like? For me, evangelical Christianity, or like American Christianity, is a lot more apocalyptic than like the Christianity around the world. Preaches a lot more, like at least in the sect that I grew up in, it was a lot more fire, brimstone, a lot more end is near, a lot more get ready before it's too late. Just like this dude Skybud in the chat, I can guarantee you they're American. How they have to say like repent and return to Jesus Christ, he loves you, like, just drop everything. You know, it's a lot more invasive, a lot less respectful over here. It's just kind of like a free for all. I say it's, at least when I talk to Christians from other parts of the planet, like the Philippines, India, Australia. What's my other what's my top five most viewed countries? Oh, the UK. Like the Christians I meet from those parts of the planet, like they're always floored by just how different American Christians act in comparison to the version of Christianity that they believe in. Most like there's more Christians per capita in the Philippines than there are in America, and they're more so Roman Catholic. And even then, they're just looking like what, like, huh? Like, why are y'all being so mean? Repent, and you're gonna burn, and like that's odd. Even if they do personally believe that that's what's gonna happen, so yeah. Anyway, Dominic Refka, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. It's not offensive to me. It just depends on the context. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Nah, nothing. No offense meant by it at all. I'll just use the full word Aboriginal just to make sure there's no ambiguity. Uh, Jesus still talks to people. You just need to pray. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do like a whole pray and pray. So here's why I'm not gonna pray anymore. Right. Premise one: Jesus is God, or at least a part of God. Premise two: Jesus is in heaven. Premise three: Jesus couldn't have known everything on Earth. Or maybe he could have, but if he had a human body and a human brain, he couldn't have known everything. Premise four: if he didn't know everything on Earth and he's in heaven now, he couldn't know everything now. Premise five: he would have heard me. If he knows everything, he would have known that I was seeking him genuinely back when I used to seek him. So he would know very clear as day that I was trying to get in contact with him. Premise six: he didn't respond back. Conclusion: he doesn't actually want a relationship with me. Christianity in Australia is open. I don't think that God should be above you. Aboriginals believe we are all connected, even the gods, the animals, we're all connected. Yeah, I'm part. Obviously, there's a little bit of there's some variance, obviously, between like Aboriginal Australians and Native Americans, but my grandmother was Native American, and so I learned a little bit about animism and like the connection of people and nature from her. She wasn't a believer in animism. She was a Christian, like pretty devout, but she did try to pass down what her parents had taught her and their parents and their parents. So kind of funny how that works out. Kind of funny how the more indigenous cultures, except for like maybe like the Mayans or something, tend to have this idea of uniformity of nature and connection rather than just like believe in this thing or die for it. That's pretty odd how that works. I would agree people thinking they're special, like in a way where the all-powerful creator of the universe already agrees with them and has all the justifications they need. Yeah, it's kind of weird how that works. Not the Anunnaki and Emerald tablets in chat. Oh no, somebody's mentioning Anunnaki. Shit, I don't even address that shit anymore. It's just some schizo posting at this point. Christianity is an abusive relationship in my experience. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's especially with the history of like at least 3/4 of my bloodline is, two black granddads, one Native American grandmother. Mother was Polish, but that's a whole other can of worms. But Christianity was spread to those three people. They were all Christian, spread to them and their bloodline by way of, I can guarantee, by way of beating, um, you know, giving them slave Bibles that takes away the parts about liberation and freeing oneself. And then as far as like the Native Americans go, like that's obviously the fact that we're speaking English right now shows clear as day what happened to them. So yeah, abusive relationship is the I'd say a kind way to put it. I'd say that's about as kind as you can put such a thing. I learned how to pray in jail. Oh shit. Oh, I'm not gonna ask. Never mind. Unless you want to share. Yeah, I think you know what I want to ask. Another fallacy I see is that people say we can't impose our 21st century morals on prophets in the Bible, but if they're supposed to be the most ideal worshipers, how can that be? Yeah, the saying I like that I credit myself with, I don't know if it was said before me, but I definitely made it up, was like, how is it that God knows everything but doesn't know better? You know? Like we have reasons for rejecting the moral failings in the Bible, like the condonement of slavery, the condonement of pedophilia in Numbers 31, the condonement of sexual assault. I could say rape on YouTube. Yeah, the condonement of rape in Deuteronomy 22, the genocide, the commandment of infanticide. Like we can use our quote unquote 21st century morals to determine these things to be bad. But if these things are truly bad to the point that God is the arbiter of why these things are bad, then he should have known better than to either condone, command, or commit these things. So, yeah. I'd say I agree. It's pretty fallacious. I never liked the concept of heaven. Everything living dies and everything that dies returns to the earth. That's how we're all connected. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like everything that's ever died becomes dirt, gets eaten and dies off and gets eaten by other things and dies off until seeds get fall on it and take root and grow and give off food that either drops down and contributes and rots into the dirt, or that gets eaten by something else that's going to live and die off. I think that's beautiful, actually, but just trying to throw that away for, oh, you get to live forever worshiping somebody for creating you for all of eternity. That just seems odd to me. Let's see here. Can I unblock you on Jerkmate? No, dude, you were being weird on Jerkmate, man. I was trying to have a match with you, and you just had to just come in and cheat, dude. Use the that you know unregulated jerk machine. I don't know why you use that shit, man. No, I'm not gonna unblock you on Jerkmate, man. Hell no. If you get blocked on Jerkmate, that's the one platform I'm on where if I block you on there, I'm not unblocking you. Is this all a bit? Am I just making this up on the spot? Do I actually have a Jerkmate? Who's to say? Who's to say? What changed my mind was science. Anthropology really opened my eyes. Yeah. I heard I've got a lot of atheist friends on here that say something similar. Not so much about anthropology, but definitely about science, getting them out of religion for sure. For me, it was less so the science itself, like destroying the fundamentalist claims. Because my thing was like I wasn't fundamentalist, right? Like as soon as I learned about evolution, I didn't deny evolution because I'm like, okay, there's evidence for it. It's an aspect of our reality. I was never that intellectually dishonest, and so but I was just like, oh, God's the reason that science is the way that it is. That our reality is the way that that the way it is and the way that we can determine using science because God put it that way. So for me, it was just like looking at the evidence, like, wow, there's nothing for this. There is no meat on these bones. Zero meat on these bones. Please stop being weird. My cat's listening. Meow, 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 meow. She should understand what I said. If you get blocked on Jerkmate, you did something real terrible. Yeah, you need to repent. If I block you on Jerkmate, you need to fucking repent. What do you believe happens after death? I think you just cease to exist personally. I think that your mind dies with your body. It's like that's all there is to it. I'm a criminal. I'm loaded. That's what changed my mind. You just have to work hard, good or bad. Work hard, and good or bad. Hard work hard, and money comes. Oh, I know. I see what you do. Did existence come from a single point of origin? The universe expanded from an initially hot and dense small state. Yeah, for sure. But but I don't think that was where the universe started. I don't think that's where existence started. I think that was just a point of expansion. And I think whatever caused it to expand has always existed in some form, or whatever rule caused it. I think religion should be like the UK monarchy, recognized for social and cultural merit, but non-functional or trained in boxing. But no better than to judge someone for that. Fair. Oh wait, no. Oh no, shit. I've read like that's probably sounded really, really, really schizophrenic. Uh, like UK monarchy recognized for social and cultural merit, but non-functional or real. Okay, there we go. I read like I read the real part and then like just read the second part afterward. I was like, okay, I'm not sure why they included that. They realized, oh shit, separate comment. Well, she moved away from you. Let's go. Good girl. Let's go. I'm the cat whisperer, man. I'm the cat whisperer. Anyway, good to see you. Welcome back, Crosser. Uh, do I have a question? Were you raised Christian or was it a choice? Also, do you believe in anything higher than humans like deities and other things? I was raised Christian. Yeah, I was raised as far back as I can remember. I was in the Baptist church with my family growing up. So yeah, currently though, I don't believe in anything supernatural, divine, or anything higher like that. You know, I don't ascribe myself to it. I just the all the aspects of reality that we can otherwise verify, I personally see it as just like eternal, basically. I don't think there was something necessarily outside of us, or if it was, it's not something that caused our universe, or there's no reason for me to make that connection, if that makes sense. The universe is on track to continue expanding. Existence in my eyes has always existed. Yeah, I agree for sure. Have you considered just getting a job? Motherfucker, it is 3:57 a.m. I work at 9 a.m. Like, you know, like, huh? Don't project your broke boy behavior onto me. I Hulk tour. Just because you broke, don't make it my issue. No such thing as a former Christian. I'm not reading the rest of that. If you, a matter of fact, I'm just gonna mute you because, like, here's my logic just going forward. If you think there's no such thing as a former Christian, then you don't think I was a former Christian, right? But I say I was a former Christian. So if there's a disagreement there, there should be no stream here because I don't exist because apparently I wasn't a former Christian. That's what I claim myself to be. So you can get the fuck out. Did you ever think that God could have made the Big Bang or something along those lines? Yeah, that was my position. Was like God caused the Big Bang. God made the Earth in the way that things were a lot like were able to evolve, where abiogenesis was allowed to occur, and he's the one that meticulously set that into motion. And the fact that it's such a all these are such complicated processes was an attest to God's power. That was kind of my whole spiel growing up, but that's why I really call out people who think similarly because I know why I thought that way. Because I'm like, okay, I want to continue thinking this is real, but you know, just not claim the fundamentalist stuff because it sounds silly. And I know that when people do the same now, they just that's just what they're trying to do. Yeah, it's the incest drunken Bible story for me. No, thank you. Yeah, that was disgusting. If you can read that and if you can read that and think like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a book of this is a great book, awesome story, lovely morals in it. The God's awesome. Like I don't know what to tell you. Do you believe there's some God or higher being in the universe that's watching? No, not personally. I don't think anybody's watching us. I would hope not. That would be kind of creepy, but no, I don't believe in it. How do you not feel how intricate you are? I know my body's complicated. It's intricate. I know that that's the case, but I don't think that complexity is the hallmark of creation. Simplicity is, and B, I'm not seeing how the complexity of my body, even if it were, would prove any one particular God, much less like the one that you prefer. Yapping like a female, muted for being a misogynistic retard. See you later. Skadoosh. Take care. Have a good one. Appreciate you. Uh, my sister's much likely. You both break my heart. I pray you find your way back to the actual truth of this life. I'm not gonna read the rest of that. If you think it's the actual truth, then prove it. If you can't, then I'll just chalk it up to you being highly connected to a book with talking animals. Yeah, I feel like a female. Yeah, he's I mean, right? Uh, do I get out of here soon? Some people are not emotionally big enough for this adult subject. Yeah, yeah, it's It's unfortunate that emotional unintelligence is so pervasive, but I mean, this is the YouTube Shorts live feed, so what do you expect, honestly? So something created you right, not random. I mean, my parents fucked, if that's what you mean. You can learn the intricate nature of your body through science and anatomy. That too. A lot of what is complex comes down to one's education about a particular subject. Like for me, I was a medical assistant for a bit, and so it's gonna be like the way that a heart works is gonna be a little bit less complex to me. I want to consider it less complex, quote unquote, than a layperson. But in that same vein, somebody who's a cardiologist or a biologist, the way that a heart functions is going to be less complex to them than even to me. So, yeah, you know, I don't know how a car works, to be honest with you. I mean, I know like the basics, but if I had to like put an engine back together again, I'd fail miserably. I could change my own oil though, so that's good. But you know, so I can look under the hood and think, wow, this is kind of complex. Like, what does this do? What does that do? But ask a mechanic, and they'll know it like the back of their hand and not consider it so complex. Trans hue era? Nah, dude, come on. I don't need to prove it. It's an experience. Okay, well, if you think it's the if you want to claim it's the actual truth, and it's not something that you can prove or desire to prove, then I'm just going to call bullshit. That'll be the end of that. Right. Like if I just want to say like, oh, I hope you come back to the truth of Harry Potter, shoving his wand up, his tuchus. Hope you come to the truth of that. And then you say like, oh, provide evidence for that if you want me to think it's the actual truth. Like, oh, I don't have to prove it's the truth. Like, nah, just then fuck off. Right. Uh if God isn't real, does that mean I can goon without it being a sin? No. Yeah. Yep. Yes. Yes. I don't think gooning is a sin. Goon away, have at it. Just you know, stay away from the AI stuff. That stuff is soulless and disgusting. I'm not gonna go on a tangent here. You know what? Yeah, I am. No, 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 I'm not. No, I'm not, because it would give away. I say give away, but I'd have to talk about like some like some some. Never mind. Anyway, while birds can imitate human voices, they cannot talk and do not understand what they're saying. True. Yeah, crows and like parrots and parakeets and stuff. They just like kind of copy sounds, take in the sound, and like try to copy it back for whatever reason that they do it. But they're not going to be able to do my taxes for me if I explain how to do it. Let's see here. You're not even making coherent sense or responding appropriately. If that's the case, Griffin, then I'm going to go ahead and mute you real quick for the rest of the stream. If I'm incoherent, then I mean, sure, can't understand what I'm saying. Fair is fair, right? But no reason to be here. Hope you go find a creator that is able to speak more to your level of desired coherence. So yeah, bye bye. Skadoosh. Have a good one. Take care. Bye bye. Go on a tangent. No, it's gonna be about like when you watch certain videos and you see ads before them. Those ads say a lot of different things, like uh, advertising particular sites where people are live streaming certain things, or advertising scams where they claim that people are in your area, things like that. One of the new waves apparently is advertising like AI stuff, and it all looks awful. I don't see how anybody. Yeah, it's just ugh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As an atheist, what's the reason you stopped believing in Christianity? So I left my faith after about a year and a half of deconstruction, and deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, and checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. ultimately, for me, after about a year and a half of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I don't believe in anything supernatural or divine. Oops, I got an alert. Tech Talk, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. You despise AI. It disgusts me, actually. Yeah. AI is pretty soulless. I know that's rich coming from me, who has like an AI profile picture and a banner, but in the video I released earlier was made using, well, not like the voice was made using AI, like the little rudimentary picture of like God with the jigsaw makeup on. That was me, but yeah, it can be fun in some ways, but it's ultimately, you do have to agree that it's pretty soulless. This question's so off topic, but how do you set up lives with images in the background? Love talking about Streamlabs because they're great at what they do. But so I stream from my computer. I don't stream from my phone. I know you're like, this is like the phone feed for like people that are streaming on their phones, but I'm streaming from my computer right now, and so I stream to it using a program called Streamlabs OBS. There's other ones like OBS, stands for Open Broadcaster Software. It's what you use to stream to different platforms or whatever that have live streaming capabilities. And so you can add sources. Sources can be things like pictures, images, and GIFs, like you see there, text, the alert box that you see when people subscribe. Well, some people, the people that don't have their subscriptions hidden, and all sorts of things. So yeah, that's how I'm able to put that up there. What's up, Easton? How you doing? So what do you think about the afterlife? I think that I don't believe in an afterlife. I think that you just cease to exist when you die, personally. Do you think God is black or white or Asian? Oh man, if God was real, what race would they be? Hmm. 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 I don't know actually. What race would they be? And for why would they be that race? What race would God be? I have so many answers, but like they're so bad. I'm not answering that. No, I'm not gonna answer that. Sorry you didn't experience anything spiritual that would enlighten your spirit. Don't apologize. There's nothing to apologize for. God is all races. Hot take. This probably is a cold take, honestly, because like I don't know. I'm not gonna go too much into my preferences, but I am for a little bit. I love mixed women so much. Just all types of mixed. Just literally, if it's two or more something's going on, I'm like, you know, just yeah, especially when it's like some random shit just thrown together. Just oh, you're like Moroccan and Moroccan and Thai or something like that, or Brazilian and Russian or just some shit like yeah, all of it. Yes, love it, love it, love it, love it. That being said, I don't know. I'll pray for you, mate. Go for it. Holding a rosary right now. I'm going to pray for you. Is that okay? If you want to, yeah, go for it. It's fine. I don't mind if you pray for me. Uh, let's see here. Probably Middle Eastern. I feel like that was just too easy. No such thing as race as a social construct. Yeah, I mean, biologically speaking, you are 100% correct. We have a complete and total match of DNA with one another, despite any physical differences. It's just the traits that are selected for are more endemic to certain parts of the world. That's all there is to it. You don't think God would have a race? I don't think so either, but because he doesn't exist, right? There are more Indians on our planet, so Indian. Imagine if he was like like he was every person's racial makeup or ethnic makeup just all in one. He'd be like 17% Indian, 17% Chinese, like 3% American, 3% Brazilian, 3% Indonesian. I feel like that'd be pretty funny. My wife is mixed. She's so beautiful. She's Japanese American. Oh, Jody loves Chachi. Let me stop. I love to hear it. Glad you got somebody in your life that you feel for. That's great. Why not spend time building your life instead of tearing other beliefs down? I spend like 20 hours a day building my life in some regard, whether I'm sleeping or working or having hobbies or things like that. I spend 20 hours a day. So I'm going to spend a few hours talking about something that I feel is important to talk about. I could just sit on my ass, stay off of people's screens, and then like just let trans people and gay people get disparaged for no reason whatsoever because of a 2,000-year-old book full of incest and slavery condonement. I could do that, but I'd much rather talk about the things rather than you know just do nothing and have some inaction. God is beyond time and space. I agree that God's beyond time and space because we otherwise call things that are beyond time and space, non-existent. Uh, Sounds cringe, but we all believe red is very true in regards to the construct of race in society. Yeah, yeah, and I'll even take it besides like the whole like feel good, like moral, like whatever the fuck, and just look at it biologically. Like biologically, there's quite literally no difference whatsoever between people of different races. Nothing relevant, I should say. Nothing biologically relevant. Imagine it was a super mud of races. Yeah, that'll be hilarious. How do you deal with religious family, especially when times get hard? They become hyper irrational and push the faith stronger. Um, this might be a little out there. From I don't know if I can answer that one the most in a most helpful way because I so happened to have deconstructed around the time that I so happened to have moved out. So um, just so happened that I was starting college, wanted my own place, and dropped out, and moved to out of state to trade school, moved back to my own place. It just so happened that with that is where I started exploring like my religious beliefs. So I'll be 100% honest. I would love to be able to give you something to work with. If anybody in chat wants to help with that, I mean, by all means, answer that person. But for me, it's I'm just not wasn't in a position where I can answer that in a helpful way. I'm so sorry. Uh, let's see. Your soul is energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. I don't believe in souls. I don't see a reason to believe in a soul. I think we just everything about our ability our experience as humans comes down to something physical. In my eyes. What was your denomination when you were a follower of Christ? You were Protestant, but now Catholic. I was Protestant. In particular, I was Baptist for 16 years and then Apostolic for 2 years. Wonder what flavor of ice cream is Jesus' favorite? Probably Cherry Garcia because he has long hair. Oh man, probably never mind. I'm not gonna make the joke I want to make, but it was gonna be something. You a YN or a YW? Half YN, quarter YW, quarter just native. It's quarter native. Have you read about frequency and vibration in the physical sense? Yeah. Let's see here. One thing that would definitely make me way less confident in my atheism is if we found a totally uncontacted tribe or alien species, ask them if they heard of Jesus and they say yes. Oh yeah, that would not convince me entirely, but that would be outstanding evidence for sure. I'd be shaking in my boots for sure. Another thing that would really make me think, oh shit, something's up, is if all the denominations of Christianity in particular came together and it's like, okay, this is the real one, this is correct, this is correct. Let's come to an agreement about hell and whether or not the Bible is fundamental, like literal or not. All parts are literal, if not which parts are literal. How to praise, which day is the Sabbath, and all these different things. Like if they all agreed on it, just all came together. It's like, yeah, this is the one denomination. I'd be like, okay, God's causing that for some reason. That's to probably look into this a little bit more. But the fact that there's like thousands of denominations of Christianity just tells me that humans are taking the story and running with it regionally. Thanks for the interesting conversation. Have a good night, brother. Have a good rest of your night, man. Made out of milk. That's gotta be painful. You're made out of milk. Oh man, where's your bones? No, but have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you. I think you would benefit from just researching the scientific end. I mean, I'm not seeing what about like the science of frequency or vibration or energy leads me to believe in a soul, much less a God figure. You're Lebanese and Irish? Ooh, I almost said L'chaim. Fuck, that's. I almost say L'chaim. What does it have to do with Judaism, dude? What the fuck? I almost said L'chaim, dude. Like, just for no reason. I don't know. Like, I don't know. But anyway. The Bible is not the most accurate historical book. It contains so many falsehoods. Yeah. Like the planet didn't flood. That we can verify. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Yeah, have a good rest of the night, Camden. Appreciate you being here. Stop muting people who made you question things. Oh, did you get muted and then are you coming back to bitch or something? Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Oh, that's my bad. That's genuinely my bad one. That's on me. That's on me. Anyway, Griffin, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it, but you're still staying muted. Not going to untime you out. Are you talking to me or are you not talking to me? Is he talking to me? Oh, you are talking to me. Oh shit, you got muted and then came back to bitch and complain. You know, I want to mute you again. I don't know which one you are, but I'm not liberal with my mutes at all. I am not liberal with my timeouts. I am very reserved with my timeouts. So you get timed out from this stream, you fucking deserve it. Just to put it in perspective, yesterday I got called a racial slur by somebody. The one that starts with the N ends with an R. Literally got called it. I didn't even time him out for it. I just ignored it. If you get timed out for, and just earlier this stream, I got called a homophobic slur. Not muted. I even laughed at it. If you get muted for, my skin is so thick. If you get muted from this goddamn stream, you deserve it. I'm putting you in timeout again. I don't even know who you are, but you gotta go. Skadoosh. Skadoosh. Get skadooshed. Ska fucking douche. Hate that YouTube can't let you respond to comments directly. Try I don't know if it works on shorts, but at least like on the app with what's it, like portrait or landscape? Landscape. With landscape streams, they allow you to like use the @ symbol and then just type somebody's name and it should pop up. Or is that just on PC? I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't give a shit about getting called a slur. All I care about is like spam and then like people that are trying to be antagonistic to a way that lets me know that they're not here to be productive. If somebody calls me like here's how my mind thinks, right? Let's say somebody scrolls into, and I know this is a fact because it's happened before. Somebody scrolls into the stream. They call me a racial slur. You know what I can still do with this person? Ignore them, or maybe talk to other people, or maybe like just acknowledge it, be like, what the fuck, dude, why'd you say that? You know what's happened sometimes? Hey, my bad, dude. Yeah, don't say that again, that's disrespectful. Oh, okay, why don't you believe in God? Okay, let's talk about it, right? But if you come in just saying some shit like I don't know, like what are you fucking like dishonest pieces of shit say? Just I don't know. There's a lot of different things. It lets me know that there's no conversation to be had with you. You're just trying to like get one over. Oh, like you were never really a Christian or something. What conversation is there to have with that? Okay, I'm claiming I was one thing. You say nuh-uh. Is there a conversation to be had? No. So get the fuck out. That's just the way my mind thinks. The real N word that nobody wants to address is yeah. I don't know. Can you get my opinion on the universe coming into being? Sure. I think the universe itself has always existed. Personally, I think it. I think that the like what caused the universe to expand at the point of the Big Bang has always existed in some form. whether it be like a cyclical model or a quantum fluctuations or something like that. So yeah. Anyway, uh, just on PC, you think? Probably just on PC. To be completely fair, I do use my PC a whole lot more than my phone. Earlier today, I left my phone on top of my fridge, and I didn't even know that I left it there until I so happened to go into my kitchen like 10 hours later. Trolls, yeah, they're just trolls. Why do people get mad at other people for what they believe and don't believe in? What you believe in is what you believe in. People get angry over nothing. That's why I keep to myself with my dog. I think keeping to yourself with your dog is probably the best bet. But if I felt this wasn't something that needed to be talked about and needed to be addressed, I'd probably leave it alone too, honestly. See here. See, didn't answer my question. All right, let's see what your question is. If your question is anything other than like the most philosophical, I'm talking mind blowing, IQ raising, just complete and total enlightening question. If it's anything less than that, I'm gonna block you. Not just ban you, just block you altogether. Here we go. Are you yeah? I'd win because you are the one who left it all behind in his overwhelming strength, or are you with this treasure or summon because you stand proud you are strong? Okay, so not only did you say something that wasn't philosophical and enlightening and smart, but you also made me want to kill myself. So, what's your name? The one and only Penguin. What's your last words? What's your last words? What are your last words? All right. What's a JOI request? You don't even want to know at this point. Oh no, what's your last words, dude? No, you gotta go. Anyway, so you don't believe in there being absolutely nothing before the universe? No, I don't believe in nothing. I think that definitionally speaking, nothing is impossible. Like if there's nothing, there's no ability for that nothing to become something as far as we can tell. So in the same way that and it's probably not like in the same way that people don't believe that God was created from nothing or that he formed from nothing or came from nowhere. What did I have for breakfast? What did I have for breakfast? Oh shit. It was a day off, so I went to after I got done with my stream earlier, I went to 7-Eleven and picked up like they got this like turkey sandwich with it's overpriced and not worth it, but I mean it was decent, so whatever. It's got like this spicy mayo, pretzel bun, lettuce to like turkey. It was okay. Got some chips, put the chips on it, some mayo, cut up a hard boiled egg. Like those were like what a dollar or so. Cut those up, put that on the sandwich. Yeah, it was decent. It was decent. Would I do it again? Probably not, just because it was so expensive. Like why are we charging $7 for just like half a sub with some some lettuce? I mean, it was good lettuce. It was fresh lettuce, but like or at least crisp, but like $7. Are we fucking joking? Anyway, I sometimes wish I could visit other systems in the universe and explore other life forms. Me too. Until unless they're like, Ragnars or some other weird alien that'll make me not want to visit them. So, you know. Uh G, just G. Okay, I got you. All right, have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you being here, but you gotta go after that one. Skadoosh. Have a good one. Take care. Don't judge me. I love gas station burritos. I'm not judging you. I am a whole trash panda, and I'm pretty open about it. I like most foods. I either enjoy it well enough or outright love it. Um, gas station food is it's not top tier. It's not glamorous, but it gets the job done for sure. I think it stems from this one job I used to have at a warehouse where they had a cold food vending machine and it had like those big ass like big AZ. What's the brand name? Like burgers and chicken sandwiches in there, and they were like $3 a pop. I got one of those. Always got like a bag of Doritos or something with it. put like some ketchup, some mustard on it. You chomp down on that, wash it down with a Dr. Pepper, and you're ready to start lifting boxes and throwing out your back for 12 hours a day. It was fun times. So I slipped into some alcohol addiction during it. That was a fun time of my life. Hell yeah, right? Anyway, the concept of nothing is impossible because as you try to describe nothing, it becomes something. Exactly. It's quite literally nothing. It's nothing, and that's all there is to it. Who cares if it was Big Bang or creation? The fact is, we are here, and none of us are leaving here alive. So let's be cool and go fishing and crack some jokes. We don't know anything. Yeah, we got some fish. I mean, I can't eat fish, but we got the fish in the waters. We got some frisbees to throw around. We got some steaks to grill. Enjoy the things. Just enjoy the things while you're here. So you talk so much about other things you don't believe in, or is it just God? Just God, because the other things I don't believe in aren't believed by most of the country I believe in. I mean, most of the country that I live in, and they're not using their belief in those things that I don't believe in to justify their mistreatment of trans people and gay people. So, yeah. It's like I don't believe in Superman either. Some people in the country I believe in do believe that he's a real person, like that's actually in our reality. They have like some sort of mental illness or something, but they're not using their belief in Superman to try to tell people what they can identify as or who they can marry. So, go figure. I really like Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is great. Fun, 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 fun. Like Mountain Dew. I got over Mountain Dew pretty quickly. Um, I don't even like Baja Blast is good. They used to have I don't know if anybody remembers this, but like Sangrita Blast. Anybody remember that? It was like a Taco Bell exclusive along with a Baja Blast a few years ago, like a decade or so ago. That was some great stuff. Also like the I wish they bottled this stuff and sold it outside of KFC, but Sweet Lightning, like it's like mango sort of deal. It's only at KFC though. Really, really good. But yeah, I'm not too proud to admit this, but when I was in trade school, I we had like soda machines and we also had coffee machines, and the coffee was like it was always really really bad coffee. So what I would do is like get half Mountain Dew and half black coffee from the machine. I mixed Mountain Dew and coffee. I called it Doofy. It was fucking disgusting, but it powered me up through the whole day. I only needed one glass and I was good for the whole day of trades. It was pretty good. Anyway, please don't judge me for that. You remember Sangrita Blast? Yeah, that shit was great. Oh man, I wish I had it back. Those were the days. They used to have it in the vending machines in my trade school, and then they took it out, and then like brought it back, and then like just took it out for good. I miss it. Miss it so much. Doofy, yeah. Tell me, please, what created this world? I think the world was formed via gravity and accretion disks. Particles and debris necessarily, but like things coming off of the sun, essentially forming planets over the course of millions of years. If you're talking about the universe altogether, I think the universe itself has always existed. Ban Renee? No, not gonna ban Renee just for asking short-sighted questions. I like the orange flavor one too. Live Wire. Oh yeah, Live Wire was the good stuff. Everything except for the original is decent Mountain Dew. Even the original's fine, but it's never my first choice. Like if somebody were to like come up to me right now and hand me a Mountain Dew original, I'd be like, oh, okay, thanks. I'll drink it and I wouldn't regret it. But if I'm in a store looking for soda, it's like center of the list at best. He was a soda dealer in school because the school sodas were shit. Oh man, that's. I used to. I wasn't when I was in trade school. I didn't sell. I sold cigarettes. I didn't sell like soda or anything. I sold cigarettes and like my roommate sold snacks. So people were just like, because the vending machine snacks were always really expensive, so they always just like come to our room and just like one stop shop. And go to him for the chips and the sodas and shit, and then come over to me to grab a smoke. Yeah, that was. I made a killing too. I'll say that much. All right, Renee, stop crashing out, dude. You like root beer personally? Root beer's okay. Root beer's okay. What's your most hated foods? Oh man, hot take, pancakes are up there. I'm not a fan of pancakes. Like the taste is okay, but the way they sit on me is kind of weird. I don't know if it's the way my stomach is built or whatever, but I don't know. Just it feels like there's always a brick in my stomach whenever I eat a pancake. Even a really light, fluffy one. It's just I don't know. I haven't had a good pancake in forever. So pancakes are on there. Canned peas are really disgusting. Um, I like peas in general. I like frozen the best, and then like fresh slightly after that. But canned ones are just that's fucking gross, dude. What else? Beets. I'm not a fan of beets. In any regard. I hate like if ever I get a like a Greek salad or something, I always ask for no beets because it's not very good. What else do I hate as far as foods go? As far as foods go, right now I'm cutting back on turkey just because I've eaten so much of it recently. Like I got a heart issue, so I call myself trying to be healthier, and it was healthier for a bit to eat some turkey, like swap out beef for turkey and swap out like well, like chicken and turkey was interchangeable, like cook it differently. But right now I'm just so sick of the taste of turkey. Like outside of a sandwich, I just can't stand it. It's just so I got to leave it alone for a bit. In the same vein, chicken liver. Funny story. I don't mind the taste of chicken liver, but I just had so much of it recently. I was trying to get more vitamin A in my diet, and it's just it gets old very quickly. I feel like there's other foods I dislike. There's gotta be, right? It's gotta be. I don't know. I don't know. You don't like pizza? Charlene, pizza is my quite literal favorite food of all time. I like pizza more than steak, and I love steak. I just had a pizza not that long ago. Man, that sucks. You hate pizza. Hmm. Mm-mm. See what we got here. Renee, stop crashing out, dude. Come on. You can ask your question once. I see your question. There's not that many people in here now. I think the stream's died down a little bit. How many people we got? Oh, 11. Okay, yeah, we really died down. But yeah, what happens when we die? I think you just cease to exist. I think that's just it for you. I think it's just out of here. Just GG. Ew, what do you mean ew? Dude, it's sauce, it's cheese, and it's bread. Bread, tomato, cheese. What's so disgusting about that? I've never heard of somebody actively disliking pizza. I've either heard it's like not their favorite food, which I mean, fair enough. It can be if you're just used to it, it's whatever. Or either like really liking it, or in a case of like me, just like it being their favorite food. Man, just when I was starting to like you too. Unfortunate. All right, now that we've died down quite a bit, I might get out of here. Might be my cue to leave. Watch some Valorant or something. Even like a buffalo chicken themed pizza. Oh, you're talking to Shirley, yeah. Okay, fine. Explain to me how that is not what the Big Bang is. What did you claim the Big Bang was? Let me look up real quick. Uh, do 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 do. Let's see what we got here. Believing in a creator designed everything makes more sense than claiming a random explosion of nothing. Okay, yeah, that's where we fucked up. Yeah, the Big Bang doesn't claim to be a random explosion of nothing. It is the expansion of our current universe from an initially hot and dense point, and that's literally all it is. Small, hot, dense, not exploded, expanded. Because explosion is random, right? It just gives off energy, it goes flying in all directions, it's whatever. Expansion is like space itself. It's omnidirectionally and in a complete circle, basically. Maybe not a complete circle as far as we know. It could be like there's also like the brain and like the flat theories possibility. I don't know, but anyway, in whatever able direction is physically able to go, expanding from that point. It doesn't claim that there was nothing. It doesn't claim that there was explosion. It's literally universe was hot and dense, and then it expanded from that point. That's literally all it is. So, with all due respect, if we don't know what scientific claims are, maybe we just don't speak on them, right? Like maybe we just don't talk about them too much. Maybe we just leave that up to the people that have actually, if you're like me, like at least studied it enough to know what the claims are, or leave it to the scientists themselves. Maybe we don't get our science from our pastors. I think that would be pretty dumb. All right, I'll leave it at that actually. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll just leave the stream with yeah, let's not get our science from pastors. Let's get our science from scientists. Or at the very least, let's maybe trust the people who have studied it. So instead of just like Cliff Nechtel says random explosion or nothing, so that's what I'm going to parrot. Have a good night, mate. Appreciate you. Thank you, man. Thank you. It's nice to meet you. Got another Australian viewer. According to YouTube, my top 5 most viewed countries are in order. The U.S. obviously number 1. Philippines number 2. That was kind of surprising. I mean, they do speak English, so it's not that surprising, but surprised that so many of them found me. India number 3. Oh wait, no, yeah, India number 3, UK number 4, Australia number 5. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, take care. Have a good one. It's so nice to meet y'all. I will be back live again. Maybe tomorrow, possibly. You're at Houston. I'm from Michigan. I have an ex from Houston, and I can't stand her. I say can't stand her like we've talked in the past 2 years, but no, I hate shit talking my exes because it's like, you ever have people that are just like they shit talk every. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on one last rant. Like somebody who just like shit talks all of their exes, and they're just like, oh, this ex was crazy, that ex was crazy. Um, you know, they're also crazy. I just attract crazy women or whatever. Like, and they're very clearly the problem. Um, what I promise you with me shit talking is one person from Houston. It's she like she's got issues. Most of my other exes don't have issues. She just in particular had issues, and things happen. But yeah, she did me kind of dirty. Uh, did me kind of dirty. Kind of unfortunate. So um, if you ever see her on, if you ever see some like, what is it, like 5'2"? I think she's 5'2". Like five. No, she's not 5'2". She's like 5'3" or something. You ever see some like 5'3" blonde lady in the area? I know she's married now, like with her husband and with a kid. Um, you know, tell her Hugh says hi. No, stop. Please don't. I'm fucking with you. What time is it where you are? It is 4:38 a.m. for me currently. I'm in the Eastern Standard Time. So blame Houston. Yep, blame Houston. Yep, blame the whole city and metropolitan area of a major city in Texas just because one person in it, um, you know, kind of fucked my head up. You're 5'2". Oh sheesh. New Zealand, hey, welcome in. Chur Wanao, Chur Wanao. I don't know if that. I know Chur, but like Wanao, Wanao. I don't know how to speak Maori in any sort of way. May join your next live. What time do you usually go live if you do? Typically around midnight Eastern Standard Time. For Australian, that should be like Australian time. That should be around like 2 p.m. for you, somewhere in there. If I want to take a wild guess. Your best friend shit talks all of her exes, and she's so insane. She absolutely is the issue in a lot of her relationships because I can't but I can't tell her that because then she gets mad at me. Yeah. Yeah, no, I try to be careful when shit talking my exes, but like, I all I can do is tell the truth. If somebody's so happy, like, I mean, crazy people exist, right? And she just happened to be somebody with issues, and that happens. Things happen, but most of my exes were just normal people, just um difference of opinion of something, life direction going, life and going in two different directions or something like that. Um, it's lost a lot. Yeah, things happen. We're adults. Most of my exes are normal, but she's just one of the two that I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I don't want to see her ever again. Uh, yeah. Okay, let's get out of here though. Let's get on out of here though. Yeah, about midnight Eastern Standard Time. It's when you'll catch me. Let's talk about some religion. Talk about some science. Just shoot the shit. Subscribe. Follow me on TikTok with my main and backup. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, Kick Trovo.